Okay. One more newsletter for the this block next week, and that's it. Okay. Go back here. There we go. Okay. What is going on in the wonderful, wonderful world? The herb garden is dead. Ain't nobody back there.
Actually, it's not quite dead. Stan's actually been working on it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the music. Cool. Join us. Who else? Still waiting a few. Cool. So the garden, that's your class holiday calendar. Next week, Friday, there's no class. We end on Thursday. So Thursday, everybody's doing the practical. Everybody. Okay? Everybody. We're not splitting it up. I was talking to Corey, and I know I had mentioned at the beginning of the block that we're going to split them up, split you guys up Wednesday and Thursday, but we're not. Everybody's on the practicals on Thursday. So tonight or tomorrow morning, I will shoot out the recipes for the practical. Okay, it has the amounts, and you're going to make some of these items before the practical comes. Okay, so I'll shoot those recipes out tomorrow morning. Okay, so that's your holiday calendar for the rest of the year, right? And again, need assistance for the utilities or rent. That's where to go. That's the website. There's the link too. Okay. What was missing? Okay. Still missing Edgar, Logan.
Hey, Chef, is it possible to put those links on the chat?
Right. Yeah. Let me put them in the chat. Didn't I see Raul pop in? Maybe not. All right. And Raul's missing. Okay. No, it's not letting me it's not letting me pull the links out. Let me see if I can get the links later, okay? Because I click on them. Nope. Take a picture if you can, because I can't open those links. They're in the PowerPoint.
I'm here, Chef.
Okay. So he's missing still Raul, and then who else? Logan. Got it. Okay. Got it, Corey?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Christian Center is always there for your to help out. So the struggle over losing a loved one is very real. You can visit the website, and they'll offer some support. Okay. That's the way it's how to go. And again, friendly reminder about the uniform policy and when to log in. Okay, portal issues, send desk. That's the number to call and find that information. So you guys should be logging into your portal every single day. You guys should be reading your great notes throughout the whole class. Okay, for the whole 6 weeks. I mean, this is the week 5. Okay, a little reminder how to protect yourself. Okay, not to catch the cooties. How to disinfect using bleach. Again, 1 capful, not a half a cup, okay, for 1 gallon. Uniform standards still apply, okay? Yeah, I logged in and I saw Mr. Corey, and I was like, oh, snap. I was taking off my earring as I was talking to him, okay? Your 2 best friends you'll ever have. If you have not made the appointment with them, make an appointment now for your externship. Don't wait until the last minute, okay? Again, Kalahari Resort is hiring. Get with Ms. Ann Derrick and Mr. Jamil Hooper so they can help you guys out. Okay. And still, University of Texas Housing and Dining is still hiring. So that's the info, the website, and the contact info for you guys to go and apply. You guys are interested on that. Okay. Another feature employer, the Reserve at Georgetown, the senior living community. It's an easy gig. It's you know, if you'd like to, work in that kind of placement, really, that's the way to go. That's where to go. That's the contact info, www.reserve@georgetown.com. You guys are looking to working at a retirement facility. Okay. Just for the fun of it, go, Chef Tammy. Let's get out of here. This place is nothing but trouble. Get it? Trouble. Okay. Quote of the week, just in case your mind is playing tricks on you today. You matter. You're more important. You're loved, and your presence on this earth makes a difference. I had a flashback of that rap song by the Ghetto Boys from My Mind Playing Tricks on Me. Sorry, guys. Old school. Trivia. Food for thought. Where were the fortune cookies created? Anyone?
San Francisco, USA.
San Francisco.
Anyone else?
San Francisco.
San Fran. I got 3 for San Fran. Anybody from Brussels, Belgium? China,
What's
Japan?
number 5?
Frankfurt, Germany.
Okay. I still say San Francisco.
3 for San Fran. Anyone else?
I say Japan.
Japan. We got 1 for Japan. Yes. Anyone else? No? You guys are pretty adamant about San Francisco. You guys might know something more than I do. All right. Let's go check it out. We got 3 for San Fran and 1 for Japan, and the rest probably don't even care, but okay. Let's go at it, see what happens. Okay. San Fran. Okay. Sources said that Makoto Hagiwara, Japanese immigrant who had served as an official caretaker of the Japanese tea gardens in San Fran in 1895, began serving the cookies at the tea garden in 1907. The cookies were based on Japanese senbei, toasted rice wafers. According to some sources, the cookies contained thank you notes instead of fortunes, and may have been Hagiwara's way of thanking the public for getting him rehired after he was fired by the racist mayor. There you go, San Fran. Okay. So with that said and done, let's go with the next one real quick. And again, I just talked to you guys about checking your portal. Okay. If you see your name, if you don't see your name here, don't worry about it. Okay. This is your knowledge checks, guys. Okay. Julian, you're missing 1 through 6. They close on this Friday, this week. Don't wait until Friday. They might close Thursday, 12 o'clock midnight. You got 4 days left to take those knowledge quizzes. Edgar, you're missing 5 and 6. Mr. Alex, I know you worked the last 2 days from sun up to sundown and then some. You're missing all 6. Mikal, you're missing 3, 4, 5, and 6. Logan is not here with us yet. He's missing 1 through 6. Mason, 1 through 6. Lexi, 1 through 6. Raul's not here yet. 1 through 4, 5, and 6. Nicole, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Like I said, if you don't see your name in here, that means you're good to go. You have taken all the knowledge quizzes. Okay. Little heads up, little warning, because you guys know very well, if you guys sitting on a C grade, if you don't take the knowledge quizzes, might drop you to a D minus. You may fail the class. Okay. I will strongly encourage you guys to take the knowledge quizzes before the end of this week. Okay. Possibly before Friday. Don't wait until Friday. Don't pronosticate. Again, they're open all 6 weeks. I opened in the first week, and this is week 5. Okay. Any questions?
Hey, Chef, internet, video. I'll still be here, but hopefully this won't kick me out of the class.
Okay. As long as you can hear and as long as you can get the chat, because I'm going to throw a lot of links for this week coming on, because there's a lot of stuff coming at you. Okay.
All right. Heard you.
All right. So there we go. Knowledge quiz, guys. Okay. I didn't like to do that, but you know, got to give you a heads up. Okay. We'll be at week 5. Here we go. So let us begin without further notice. Okay. Maybe somebody will join in a few minutes. Let me see if anybody's joined in lately. Logan and Raul. Nope. Okay. All right. So this is actually the bottom of the page. That's your menu for tomorrow. Okay. So we are in week 5. Okay. India. That's tomorrow. That's begins tomorrow. Okay. We're going to go through a little bit of fun facts, a little bit of history, brief history, a little bit of culture. So hang in there, because at the end of every week that we cover, we're going to go over the menu. Okay. And I'm also going to put the links to the videos on the chat. Okay, guys. So hang in there, right? India. Okay. Brief history. India's culture is among the world's oldest civilization. In India began about 4,500 years ago. Many sources describe it as a Saprabhma Sanskrati Vishvarava, or whatever that word is. The first and supreme culture in the world, according to the All-World Gayatri Pariwara Organization, AWGP. Western societies did not always see culture of India very favorably, according to the Christina De Rossi, an anthropologist at Bennett and Southgate College in London. Early anthropologists once considered culture as an evolutionary process in very aspect of human development, as was seen as driven by evolution. She told Life Science, in this view, societies outside of Europe or North America, societies that did not follow European or Western way of life, were considered primitive and culturally inferior. Essentially, this included all colonized countries and people such as African countries, India, and the Far East. However, Indians made significant advances of agriculture, the Taj Mahal, mathematics, the invention of zero, and medicine. Today, India is a very diverse country with more than 1 billion people, densely populated. According to the CIA World Fact Book, making it the second most populous nation after China. Different regions have their own different distinct cultures, language, region, food, and the arts, and just some of the various aspects of Indian culture. Okay. Language they have about 28 states and 7 territories, according to the World Health Organization. There is only one official language in India, according to the High Court ruling in 2010. Hindi is official language of the government. Constitution of India officially recognizes 23 different languages, 23 languages in India, and I can tell you guys how to say a-hole in India. No? Yes?
Go for it.
Chinal.
Chanel.
Chinal. And there's another one too. Chutnia. How do I know? Because Chutnia and Chinal. Two of my interns from India, Indonesia and India, and of course, that's the first, language that the words that you learn from other people. So, anyways, Chinal and Chutnia. Many people living in India write in the Bengali script. In fact, a misconception of the majority of the people in India speak Hindi. The many people speak Hindi in India. 59% of Indian residents speak something other than Hindi, according to the Times of India. Bengal, Telugu, Marathi, and Tamil and Urdu are some of the languages spoken in the country. Okay. Sanskrit, an ancient Indo-European language, usually refers to an action movies, came from the northern India. Okay, let's skip over this real quick. Religion, India is identified as the birthplace of Hinduism and Buddhism. Third and fourth largest religions, about 84% of the population identifies as Hindu, according to the Handbook of Research, Development, and Religions, edited by Matthew Clark. There are many versions of Hinduism, and 4 are predominant sects: Shavya, Vaishnava, Shaketya, and Smarta. About 13% of Indians are Muslims, so again, no pork, okay? Making it one of the largest Islamic nations in the world. Christians and Sikhs make up a small percentage of the population. There are even fewer Buddhists and Jainis, according to the handbook. CIA has similar figures, according to the World Fact Book. Around 80% of the population is Hindu, 14.2% is Muslim, 2.3% is Christian, 1.7% is Sikh, and 2% is unspecified. Okay. Food, when it comes to India. When Mughal Empire invaded during the 16th century, they left a significant mark of the Indian cuisine, according to the Texas A&M University. Indian cuisine is also influenced by many other countries. It is known for its large assortment of dishes and its liberal use of herbs and spices. Cooking styles may vary from region to region. There's a lot of regions in India, as there are in China as well too. Wheat, basmati rice, and pulses with chana, Bengal gram, are important staples in the Indian diet. Food is rich in curries and spices, and you guys are going to know that tomorrow, including ginger, coriander, cardamom, turmeric, dried hot peppers, and cinnamon, among others. Chutneys, thick condiments and spreads made from assorted fruits and vegetables such as tamarind and tomatoes, mint, cilantro, and other herbs. By the way, tomatoes did not make it through India until the European trading, because from Portugal brought tomatoes. Okay, and also are used generally in Indian cooking. Many Hindus are vegetarian, but lamb and chicken are common main dishes for non-vegetarians. The Guardian reports that between 20% and 40% of India's population is vegetarian. Much of the Indian food is eaten with fingers or bread used as utensils. There's a wide array of bread served with meals, including naan, I call it naan bread, leaven, oven-baked flatbread, and that's the one you make in the oven like pizza, not like the pita. The pita's on a flat surface. The naan bread is almost like a pizza shell, okay? And batora, a fried, fluffy flatbread common in North India and eaten with chickpea and curry, okay? Cuisine of India, antiquity, okay? Indian cuisine reflects an 8,000-year history, various groups and cultures, including the Indian subcontinent, leading to a diversity of flavors and regional cuisines found in modern-day India. Later, trade with British and Portuguese influence added to the already diverse Indian cuisine. And again, early diet in India mainly consisted of legumes, vegetables, fruits, grains, dairy products, and honey. Staple foods eaten today include a variety of lentils, dal, which, there's some on the menu, whole wheat flour, atta, rice and pearl millet, bajra, which has been cultivated in the Indian subcontinent since 6200 BCE. Over time segments of population embraced vegetarianism, which the Samaran movement, while the adequate climate permitted a variety of fruits, vegetables, and grains to be grown throughout the year. A food classification system that categorizes any items as Sattvic, Rajic, or Tamasic, developing yoga tradition. The Bhagavad Gita prescribes certain dietary practices. Consumption of beef is taboo. Okay, beef is taboo. That's why you see a lot of cows and steer and whatever not just roam around the streets freely like people, because they believe that's a sacred animal, so they don't want to eat the sacred animal. Not me. I'm like, come on, get some steak, right? Slap it on the grill, let's smoke that brisket and let's go at it. Even rare, raw. Anyways, due to cows being considered sacred in Hinduism, beef is generally not eaten in Hindus in India except Kerala, parts of southern Tamil Nadu, and northeast. Okay. Some of the ingredients, staple foods include pearl millet, rice, whole wheat flour, lentils, pigeon peas, black gram, mung beans, which are beans, spring bean sprouts, dal, pulses, chickpeas, black-eyed peas, and beans. Many Indian dishes are cooked in the vegetable oil. Peanut oil is popular in Western India. Okay. Peanut is only popular in Northern and Western India. Mustard oil is Eastern India, and cooking oil along the Western coast, especially Kerala and parts of the Southern Tamil Nadu. Gingerly, sesame seed oil is common in the South, since in parts of fragrant nutty aroma. In the recent decades, sunflower, cottonseed, and soybean oils have become popular across India. Okay. Hydrogenated vegetable oil known as vanaspati or ghee. Ghee is clarified butter. Okay, if you see ghee, it's clarified butter. They don't eat the cows and animals, but they do, milk and the butter. Okay. Anyways, butter-based ghee or dashi ghee is used frequently throughout less than the past. Many types of meat are used for Indian cooking, but chicken and mutton tend to be the most commonly consumed meats. Fish and beef consumption are prevalent in some parts of India, but they're not widely consumed except for coastal areas. The most important and frequently used spices, flavors in India cuisine, a whole powdered chili pepper introduced by the Portuguese from Mexico in the 16th century. Black mustard, cardamom, cumin, turmeric, asafoetida, ginger, coriander, garlic. Another popular spice mix is garam masala. Part of this typically includes 7 dry spices in a particular ratio, including black cardamom, cinnamon, clove, cumin, black peppercorns, coriander seeds, and anise star. Each culinary region has a distinctive garam masala blend. Individual chefs may use their own. Good garam masala is a comparable. So if you can find that at the store, might as well invest in it and buy it. Okay. Here's an overview of the India's regional cuisines. I thought it's common for Indian restaurants to present dishes as part of uniform nationalized cuisine. In actuality, the food of India is regionally specific and diverse in its population. These cuisines are heavily influenced by India's history, conquerors, trade partners, and the religious and cultural practices of the populace. A little background of the commonalities of different between India's regional cuisines can turn your next Indian meal into an exhibiting, deeply gratifying venture. So, anyways, although Indian cuisine is highly regionally specific, there are certain common threads in the unite the different culinary practices. Indian cuisine throughout the nation is highly dependent on curries, which are gravy-like sauce or stew-like dishes with meat, vegetables, or cheese, although one particular spice mixture, degree of liquidity, and ingredients are determined by the regional preference. Indian cuisine is generally also very dependent on rice, so you gotta have rice all the time. It's a cooling agent. Although Southern Indian regions use rice more heavily than other areas, all the regional cuisines are reliant on pulses or legumes. Indian cuisine uses perhaps a greater variety of pulses than any other world cuisine. Red lentils, masoor, Bengal gram, chana, pigeon peas or yellow gram, tur, black gram, green gram are used whole, split or ground into flour in a diverse number of Indian dishes. Dal or split whole legumes add creaminess in dishes that don't use dairy or protein in vegetable diets. Okay. Perhaps the most defining characteristic of Indian cuisine is diverse use of spices. Indian spice mixes often use upwards of 5 different spices, sometimes combining 10 or more. Chili pepper, black mustard, seed, again, same ones. Cardamom, garlic, cloves, coriander, nutmeg, saffron, rose petal essence. Asafoetida powder. A spice is very strong and it's scent, and when raw, imparts a very delightful flavor to skin of sauteed onions. And you can buy that at the store. Asafoetida, they have it ground. All they use different various combinations of garam masala's popular spice mix. Okay, so take a look at it. Other influences. Cultural impact of the trade is evident in India's culture cuisine, with specific regions and dishes bearing the mark of the foreign language. India's spices were highly coveted by Arab and European traders. In exchange, India received many goods that greatly influenced its culinary tradition. Portuguese traders brought New World imports like tomatoes, potatoes, chilies, which have become deeply integrated into Indian dishes. Arab traders brought coffee and asafoetida powder. India's peers and conquests have also greatly shaped the development of cuisines. Mughal conquerors who occupied India between early 1500s and late 1600s infused India's culinary tradition with Persian flavors and practices. The effect is notable in the use of cream and butter in sauces, the presence of meat and nuts in dishes, especially dishes like biryanis, samosas, pulaus, that draw heavily on the Persian cuisine. Although British control of India introduced soup into the country, had little impact of its cuisine. Calling the absorption of Indian cuisine to British culture, however, has deeply affected the transitional of Indian food abroad. Chicken tikka masala, popular dish on many Indian menus, is in fact Anglo-Indian creation, is commonly known as Britain's true national dish. Even in Western concepts of Indian curry, the term is applied to the multiple gravy stew-like dishes that arrive from British interpretation of the Indian cuisine. Curry pot is also British creation, a blend of Indian spices that were originally paired together with colonial cooks. Okay. India's population is highly diverse, with cultural identities heavily influenced by religious and regional practices. Ayurvedic teachings emphasizing equilibrium between mind, body, and spirit. Keep that in mind, mind, body, and spirit, because when we go to China, we're going to talk about the 5 elements. 5 elements. Okay. I'm not talking about bat food. Anyways, have exerted an influence over Indian cuisine, in general dictated ingredients pairings and cooking practices. While this philosophy is common influence throughout Indian cuisine, the ways in which Ayurvedic food rules are applied differ according to religion and regional culture. Approximately 1/3 of India's population is vegetarian, dictated by their Hindu, Jain, or Buddhist faiths. Consequently, a significant portion of India's dishes throughout the country are without meat. Additional religious beliefs affect other dietary restrictions that shape of India's cuisine. Hindu followers abstain from beef because cattle, again, are sacred in this faith, while Muslims believe pork may be unclean and never eat it, depending on the dominant religion beliefs of the region. Okay. Perhaps most prevalent culinary style of food outside of India, Northern India cuisine reflects a strong Mughal influence, characterized by high use of dairy, milk, paneer cheese. You guys ever have paneer cheese? Anyone? No. Paneer cheese. We have a dish, sag paneer on the menu. Paneer cheese tastes like cardboard, has no flavor. Okay. So with spinach, yogurt, and spices. Indian mild cheese, ghee, clarified butter, and other yogurt I'll use regularly in northern dishes. Samosas with fried pastries, stuffed with potatoes, and occasional meat are distinctive northern snacks. There's a store here in North 183 before just passing 620 on the right hand side, and it's called what is it called? Mampasan, and it's an Indian store, and they have all the spices, bulk style, everything you can ever think of. And in their frozen section, they have samosas and all kinds of dishes too. Just in case anybody's interested, it's in the neighborhood of Northwest Austin / Cedar Park, Mampasan Indian store. Okay. So that's Northern. Okay. Sag paneer. Western Indian cuisine is distinguished by the geographic historical particulars of its three main regions: Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Goa. Maharashtra coastal location is responsible for its fish and coconut milk dominant cuisine. Coconut milk and fish. It's also prevalent in Colombia. They have a Thai and Indian influence in Colombia too. There's a dish called pescado en nocado, and it has coconut and turmeric in the mix with seafood. Anyways, cuisine mostly vegetarian, has an underlying sweetness of many dishes due to Chinese influence. And the dry climate of this region produces smaller vegetables. This region is well known for its chutneys, which are popular Indian condiments that is cooked, fresh pickled vegetables, and fruits and sweets. Sour and spicy flavors. Goa acted as a major trade port of a colony of Portugal, resulting in a distinctive and unique blend of Indian and Portuguese culinary elements. Goan cuisine uses pork and beef with greater frequency than other regional cuisines of India. Vinegar is also a characteristic ingredient of Goan cuisine, another result of Portuguese influence. The prevalence of coconut milk, coconut paste, and fish in Goan cuisines results in a coastal location. Vindaloo, traditional Goan dish that is an Indian restaurant mainstay, named derived from the Pinto de Alho, a Portuguese marinade consisting of primarily garlic, wine, vinegar, and chilies. Okay. Eastern India. Cuisine is primarily known for its desserts. These desserts not only favored by only other regions of India, but are frequently found in Indian restaurants. Their light sweetness make it an excellent finale for the meal. Rasgulla, a popular sweet treat consisting of semolina and cheese curd, chena balls, that are boiled in a light sugar syrup. Eastern dishes favor mustard seeds, poppy seeds, mustard oil, giving dishes a light pungency. Rice fish is also featured prominent in Eastern cuisine. Overall, Eastern dishes are more lightly spicy than other ones from the regions. Southern Indian cuisine, not typically found in many other restaurants' menus, and differs greatly from the other regions. Its curries contrast differently from the textures and can typically be categorized according to their dry consistency, or others flavoring more soupy or stew-like presentation. Purial's dry curries consisting of a variety of vegetables and spices, accompany rice dishes, sambras, rasams, and kutus. Three common stew-like dishes, each offer a primary ingredient of degrees of liquidity. Sambars are essentially tamarind-flavored pea and vegetable stews that are made more watery than curries from the regions, but other thicker than rasams. Rasams are more similar to soups in their consistency and are composed primarily of tomato, tamarind, and myriad of spices. Kutus are more similar to curries found in other regions, but are rather being creamy like dairy-based curries. In the north, kutus get their consistency from boiled lentils. Aside from the curry dishes, Southern India cuisine is known for its tasty fried or grilled cooked snacks. In Southern India, fried, grilled cooked snacks. Dosas consist of a large crib-like rice pancake, usually filled with vegetables, chutneys, or masala curries. Uttapam similar in dosas, but are thicker with the filling sprinkled on top like pizzas. Italy's vadalas are fried delicacies similar to savory donuts that are served on accompaniments, sambars, and rasams. Partly from the restaurants that specifically serve Southern Indian cuisine, only South Indian food that is frequently found in Indian restaurants are papadalas, a fried crispy rice cracker usually spiced with black peppercorns. Okay, so here are some of the top 10 foods you must try if you travel to India or go to an Indian restaurant. Okay, number 1, butter chicken. Okay. Butter chicken or makan murg is Hindi, one of the most popular Indian dishes. Makan is Hindi, stands for butter, and murg means chicken. which literally translates to butter chicken. This originated in the northern Indian state of Punjab. Punjabi, awesome hip hop in India. Okay, butter chicken features a beautifully cooked chicken mixed with a tomato curry sauce, resulting in a popular curry that has gained international fame. Butter chicken was first invented by accident in the Moti Mahal restaurants in New Delhi when flavored chicken pieces were mixed with leftover sauce. This dish is enjoyed with naan, roti, or even with rice. Butter chicken, delicious. Okay. Dal tadka is also a very popular Indian dish. It has only not only garnered domestic fame, but it's also international fame. Dal tadka was originally made with burnt charcoal to give it a smoky flavor, but since it has changed due to one of the most simple dishes in the world. Making dal tadka is a simple process that involves steaming lentils or dal and then seasoning it with traditional Indian spices as cumin, garlic, and ghee. Dal tadka goes easy with the spices, but just enough to give it a good flavor, but not enough to make it intolerable. Remember that, burnt charcoal. Okay, burnt charcoal, remember that, okay? Chaat. Next up to this list is the best Indian foods. It's a broad category of street foods known as chaat. Chaat in India is typically sold from makeshift stands. The side dishes of busy streets and it's popular dinner snacks for all sorts. People ranging from the children to the office workers to the elderly. Among the most popular types of chats are bel puri, pani puri, and samosa chat. Although chats are very susceptible to change based on the region you may be visiting, the formidable foods are common and can be found almost anywhere you go in India. Samosas, again, deep fried delicacies, man. Next up on the list is the classic samosas. Can differ from shape, size, and fillings based on the region, but you have the same basic no matter where they're found. Samosas are basically Indian calzones. Remember that pizzas, calzones? They feature a crusty exterior that is deep fried and is filled with a variety of vegetables such as potatoes, meats, or lentils that are heavily seasoned. Samosas are served alongside sauces such as mint sauce, tamarind sauce, and spicy green sauce, which complements the samosa as well. Samosa not only found in India, and it can also be found in the Middle East too. Masala chai, yes, even tea. Next is not a food, but rather a type of a tea. One of the most traditional and most classic staples of Indian foods is masala chai. Masala chai differs from the traditional British and American teas that most people are accustomed to. Masala chai starts with the fresh tea leaves derived from the tea plantations of Assam or West Bengal. The black tea leaves are then steeped into hot water, then mixed with a shredded ginger and cardamom seeds to give them a hint of spiciness. Following the brewing process, milk is added and is served hot and fresh. Tandoori chicken, which is on the menu for tomorrow, guys. Remember that burnt charcoal that I just mentioned a minute ago. Tandoori chicken is another northern Indian dish that may have been around back in the 3000 BC. Tandoori chicken is derived from this name. When the vessels it is cooked in, known as tandoor oven. It is a cylindrical shaped oven that is powered by burning wood or charcoal. Tandoor oven is made with either clay or metal and offers a distinctive taste to the meals cooked within. Tandoori chicken consists of chicken that is marinated for a few days in a mixture of yogurt, tandoori masala, blend of traditional Indian spices. All it is, the chicken is then cooked. So tonight, guys, I would strongly suggest and encourage you guys to marinate your chicken for tomorrow. Okay, tonight. Matar paneer. Next up, the classic matar paneer is a Hindi. Matar translates to peace, and paneer refers to the fresh cheese made in India, which is one of the main ingredients in this dish. Matar paneer is a northern Indian dish that consists of peas and paneer cooked in a mild tomato sauce. Like buttered chicken, except matar paneer is seasoned with garam masala, blend of ground spices. Matar paneer is traditionally served with Indian bread, such as naan or aloo paratha, but it's also eaten by some with rice. Sometimes other ingredients such as potatoes may be added. Dokla, coming from the Indian state of Gujarat, dokla is made of fermented batter that is derived from a split chickpeas and rice and can be eaten virtually any course. Doklas are eaten in India as a side dishes for breakfast, as a main course, or even as a snack in events such as parties and weddings. Doklas are best served with green mint sauce and sweet tamarind sauce, initially yellow in color. Doklas have many variations to them. They can be prepared in a variety of ingredients with different ratios of chickpeas within them. Vada pav. Next food is the first origin of the street food. It's sold in restaurants across India and the rest of the world today. Vada pav. The vada pav refers to a deep fried potato fritter that is placed between two pieces of bread. The pan due to its dish resembles a sandwich or a burger. It's commonly known as Bombay's burger because the origins of the northern India city of Mumbai, formerly known as Bombay. The vada pav is served with one more chutneys such as green sauces, tamarind sauces. Alongside the pav is also green chili. Make it spicy. Rogan Josh. Finally, the list, Rogan Josh, is a northern Indian dish with Muslim influences that first originated in Persia and Kashmir. Rogan Josh is a meat curry dish that features a lump and red meat such as lamb or goat, which is colored with flavor by the akane flowers or roots in the Kashmir chilies. Rogan Josh is prepared by the both Muslims and Hindus in a significant different the ways it's prepared. Rogan Josh is best served with a naan and any other Indian brand. Should also be mentioned that Rogan Josh is a staple of British restaurants. So tomorrow, your menu, it's green chutney. Guys, it is not a hard recipe to make, okay? Have you guys looked at your recipes for tomorrow? Anyone?
Yes, chef.
What's in that recipe?
Cilantro.
What
mint.
else? Uh-huh.
I can't remember the rest.
Yogurt. And what else? Serrano peppers. You're going to put everything in a blender and puree it. That's all there is. Lemon juice. Okay? Remember that. Cilantro, mint, lemon juice. What else? Serrano peppers and yogurt. And I think a couple more items. They're all,
Sugar, ginger, lime, shallots, serrano peppers, mint, and cilantro.
once you get everything together, cilantro doesn't even have to be chopped. Mint doesn't have to be chopped. Just remove the mint leaves. And you can even put that, just crunch cilantro, throw it in the blender, and puree everything, okay? That's as easy as it's gonna get. It shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes to make this sauce, okay?
You said cilantro, mint, serrano pepper, lemon, ginger, and what else?
Yeah, what's in your recipe?
I'll look at it in a minute.
Okay.
So how smooth does the sauce have to be, or is it going to be chunky, or what?
No, like ranch dressing. Like green goddess ranch dressing. Okay. That's smooth, that texture you're looking for. And it has heat from the serranos, but it has also the refreshing and cooling agent because the yogurt and the mint. Okay.
Okay.
It is going to be spicy, but man, it's a good spicy. Okay. Next one up is your aloo gobi. Okay. Aloo gobi, you're going to bloom the seeds in oil. Okay. You're going to add the garlic, the serranos, saute them, and the onions, saute them, and then you're going to add the potatoes, saute them, and then cover the pan. You're going to add the broccoli afterwards. You're going to add the turmeric, your chili powder, and whatever other ingredients you have on the recipe, and you're going to cover that. The aloo gobi is a potato and cauliflower side dish. Okay, it is not mashed potatoes, and it is not mashed cauliflower. So don't be serving something that looks like it came out of a prison buffet restaurant. Okay, or the mess hall. Okay, it is not a mushy soup. It is not a mashed potatoes. It has still al dente. It still has the structure. Okay, so be careful with that one. Okay, aloo gobi. Matar pulao. Remember the good old days from Foundations? Rice pilaf. Okay, the same concept. You're going to bloom the spices. Okay, add the rest of the ingredients and the rice. Add your water, bring it to a boiling point, and cover it and let it sit for about 15-20 minutes until the rice is cooking, then turn it off. Okay, matar pulao. And your tandoori chicken.
Hey, chef,
Yes.
can you do that the rice in the oven too?
You can, but you're gonna have to saute everything on the side and then mix it into the rice. Okay.
Okay, so if you did it on a stovetop, you just saute it, then stick the rice and water in the same pot.
Correct.
Okay.
Come on. So for you guys, okay, here's a Come on, guys. Pause. Okay. Come on. You guys still with me?
Yes.
Yes,
Here,
Chef.
Chef.
Anybody else? Come on, guys.
Yes, Chef, I'm here.
There's
Chef.
a lot of things coming your way, man. I know it tends to get boring and blah 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 about the regions, but it's very important for you guys to pay attention to all that because it all ties in. I'm gonna pop in the link to this video here, okay? And I'm also gonna play it, okay? One of them that I'm gonna play for you guys, okay? Like I said, this one is very easy to make, okay?
Going to begin by making the first ingredient, which is great as a dip for spicy snacks. So to a blender, in goes 1 bunch of coriander, few mint leaves, half a teaspoon of lemon juice, salt as per taste. You can also add in a little bit of sugar if you want to. Now I'm going to close this and I'm going to blend this to a really smooth paste. If you need to add water, make sure you add just a few drops, not more than that. As this base looks ready and really smooth, I'm going to transfer this to a bowl now. It's up to you if you want to add ingredients such as chaat masala, black salt, or clove powder. You can add a pinch of it if you want to. Now I'm going to add in about 1/4 cup of thick, smooth yogurt to this and mix this really well. You can add more or less yogurt as you desire. Most of the versions which you eat out has a lot of yogurt and a lot of food color as well. You may do that if you want to, but I'm good. And the first variant is all ready. Ready for the next variant? Let's make the next variant, which is great to eat along with roti, rice, and a lot of Indian recipes. You can also eat along with snacks, which I usually do, and I have grown with this chutney. So you can eat along with snacks or Indian recipes as you prefer. Basically, our Indian daily food. The process is as simple as taking a bunch of coriander and adding it to a blender jar, half a tomato, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin seeds, salt to taste, half a green chili, half an inch of ginger.
So that's a different kind of chutney.
Close this and blend this.
Okay. And again, you go back to the beginning of the video, just put everything on the blender. You can also even put the yogurt in the blender. And the flavor profiles, it is supposed to be spicy, but it's supposed to give you that refreshing part of the mint and the yogurt. Okay, that's green chutney. Should not take you more than 20 minutes to make that sauce. Okay.
Less than
That was
that.
pretty good.
Okay. Now let's take a look at what's next. Come on. Come on. So this thing is low. Come on. Let's take a look at Alu Gobi. Okay. She's speaking in India, in Hinduism, more, so I can't understand what she's saying, but also it has the, come on, commercials. But they have the subtitles, okay? Okay, yeah, go for it. So this is what it's supposed to look like, okay? Nice and al dente, not mushy. You're not serving mashed potatoes.
आलू गोभी की सिंपल सब्जी बनाने के लिए मैंने लिया है 250 ग्राम कटे हुए छोटे टुकड़ों में गोभी। इसे मैंने धो के रखा है पहले से। 2 आलू ले लिए मीडियम साइज के, इसे भी धो के काट ले। एक बड़ा प्याज बारीक कटा हुआ, 8 से 10 लहसुन कटी हुई, एक हरी मिर्च।
Very basic, okay? Very basic. Coriander, cilantro. If you don't know, you can't find coriander, use cilantro. Cumin seeds, not ground cumin, guys, all right?
Why can't you use ground cumin?
It's too strong. And when you toast the cumin seeds, they're going to give it a better flavor, better aroma.
Okay.
The ground cumin is harder to control too. And that's pretty much it. Okay, aloo gobi. Okay, easy to make. That one should take maybe 45 minutes to an hour to make. And let's go to the next one up.
So you don't want to brown the potatoes at all? You just kind of want to soften them?
Correct. You're not searing them. You're only soften them, okay?
Okay.
Here's the matan pulao. Let's see if I can. I'm on commercials. I like it. She's pretty good at what she does. Very, even though I can't understand what she's saying, it has the ingredients and how to make it and how does it look like, okay? Very easy to make too. There you go, bay leaves, rice. So check this out, 1 glass of rice, 1.25 glass of water, okay? There's your piece. And this one she uses cashews. We're not going to use cashews. Bay leaves, cinnamon, green cardamom, black cardamom, okay? A little bit of mace. Ghee, yeah, skip the cashews. Yeast and salt. Easy ingredients, okay? The cardamoms, you can also toast them in a saute pan prior to using them in your rice, okay? You're gonna remove the other husk, the shell, and utilize only the seed in your dish.
Okay, the cardamom seeds weren't on the shopping list.
Not good. So you're toasting them on oil, you're blooming the spices, okay? rice, water, bring it to a boiling point, drop the temperature to low heat, cover it, and let it cook for about 15, 20 minutes, okay? Easy does it. I'm gonna pop the link here too. Okay, for that one, okay? Your tandoori chicken, you don't have a tandoori oven, but if you do have the charcoal briquettes from King's for charcoal briquettes, you can pretty much give it that flavor, okay? You don't have a tandoori oven, okay? Come on. That's what I'm looking for. Where are you?
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Hey, from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo.
Hi guys, this is the Bombay Chef Varnananda and welcome to Get Curried. Well, I bring.
The only thing with this one, he takes off the skin. You don't have to take off the skin. Leave the skin on. Gives it more flavor, okay?
Tandoori chicken into your kitchen today. Tandoori chicken without an oven, yet smoky, yet flavorful. The first step is to take a clean and fatted dry chicken, and what I'm doing is I'm creating a few gashes in this. So by gashes, I mean these incisions, these deep cuts, so that the marination and the masalas go right straight in. So the chicken is cut and ready. Now is the time to start marinating this. So what I have here with me is some fresh yogurt, red chili powder, ginger garlic paste, turmeric, and salt to taste. I'm going to rub all these masalas to these pieces of chicken. Make sure it's nicely rubbed in. I'm just making sure the marination reaches each and every cut and incision of this piece. I'm now going to rest this for 30 minutes at room temperature. Let it nicely marinate. Well, allow me to wash my hands as well. Now that the chicken is marinated and ready, let's begin the frying process. The first thing that goes is some oil in a pan, and along with this, a little bit of salted butter. Allow this to heat. Once the oil is moderately hot, I'll start putting in the pieces of chicken. You just have to make sure you do not overcrowd the pan, otherwise they start releasing a lot of liquids and moisture. The chicken has been cooking for 1.5 minutes on the first side. I've given it a flip. And now if you see, the color is nice and golden brown, exactly like the tandoori chicken baked in a tandoor. It's been roughly around 10 to 12 minutes. The chicken has nicely cooked on all the sides. It has cooked in right till the center. Off goes the flame. I'm transferring this into a deep bowl.
Here's a secret for that one, for the great flavor, okay, with the charcoal.
Here is a magic trick to give this chicken the taste and flavor of a tandoor. I have a piece of charcoal, which I'm now going to light on the gas. So let it nicely char and become red in color, and then I show you what I do with that. Finally, the trick to create smoke like tandoor. I'm using a small steel glass, and on top of this, I'm going to place the red coal. Let's create the magic smoke. A few splashes of oil, and on goes the lid. Let this be nicely covered for like 1.5 minutes. Let all the chicken pieces get the flavor of smoke, and then we'll start plating.
That is it, guys. Chicken tandoori for tomorrow. Easy does it. Another dish that is going to be easy for you guys to produce.
You said marinate that overnight, right? It's best.
Yes, if I were you, I marinate that chicken overnight tonight, so tomorrow is ready to set to go. Okay.
I heard.
Any thoughts about tomorrow?
No.
Okay. Easy menu. Easy menu. Should not take a long time to make. Okay. There's no. Go ahead.
What was that thing so it could have that charcoal flavor?
It's a little piece of charcoal, from Kingsford charcoal when you go and grill outside. A little piece of charcoal that he gets it nice and white, hot red, puts it in a stainless steel container inside the bowl, and then just drizzles a little bit of oil. That's it, and then covers it.
Hey, Jeff.
Okay.
Do you want us to put that charcoal on there?
It gives you a better flavor. It's up to you guys.
But like, I don't want to buy a whole bag and then just use a single piece. You know?
You don't have to unless your neighbor has, charcoal in the grill. Borrow one from your neighbor, right?
Yeah, true.
Just steal it out of a barbecue pit.
Right. This is something that have been unused, so go get one of those barbecue pit charcoal briquettes, bring it to your home, and just use it. You only need one piece. It's optional. It's optional, but it gives a better flavor. Okay.
Okay, but if he was showing to cook it on a gas stove, and if you have an electric stove,
Yeah.
I mean, how are you supposed to burn the charcoal on an electric stove?
You still can.
You get a match. Just sit there, Corey. Just sit there.
Yeah, I'll let you do that there, Edgar or Julian. All right?
Man, you got it. You got
those
it.
heating
Hey,
elements is going to get that charcoal piece really hot.
Can you put the charcoal piece in like a pan or something?
Probably not going to get that direct heat contact, and that's what you're looking for. Unless you got one of those crack torches, the blowtorch, lighter.
Closest thing I got is this.
Yeah, not going to get it hot. You can probably put it on top of the heating element, let it get hot, just watch it. It doesn't catch on fire. The heating elements do get hot really quick, man. All right, so that's for tomorrow's menu. Not hard to make, easy to make. You have the links on the chat. You saw the video. You have the mine is a cardinal pots. You don't have black ones, you can use only green. You don't have green, you can use black. Either way, or as long as they're cardamom, okay? And try to use the whole seed, not ground, because ground is too strong. It might make your food bitter, okay? All right, let's go to China next.
Okay, you said black or green, but not both?
You have both, use both, but you can't find one of them. One of them is fine, okay?
Okay.
Where'd you go? Day 23. You're gonna go to China, okay? Come on, why are you? No, I don't want that one. Come on. All right, China's next, guys. Okay. Chinese sausage, lard, Chinese leeks. You don't really need Chinese leeks. Szechuan pepper. Check in my cooler tomorrow. I do have some Szechuan peppers. Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys, hold on. I gotta take Chef Robin's call. Okay, hold on a minute. Sorry, guys, I was the boss and I had to answer the call. Okay. So, anyways, China on Wednesday. Okay, China. Okay. I know we have some of you guys may have your reservation about China, but it's awesome food, awesome country, culture. Okay. So we're going to China on Wednesday, day 23. Okay. Come on. Where are you? There you go. So, little facts about China, facts and culture about China. China, officially the People's Republic of China, country East Asia, the world's most populous country with population of about 1.4 billion people. 2019, covering approximately 9.6 million square kilometers. It is the world's third and fourth largest country by area. Okay, President is Xi, capital is Beijing, population is 1.393 billion as of 2018. Currency is a renminbi before there was a yuan. Okay. Official script is simplified Chinese, government, republic, social state, unitary state, communist state, and one-party state. Currently, China is probably the most interesting country in the planet. China is the world's third biggest country with territory, has a large population. One is the longest running civilizations on Earth, with its unique and attractive culture, developed at a record speed to become the second largest economy in the world. Furthermore, China hosts innumerable attractions for tourists to explore. Okay. Some fun facts. China is officially known as the People's Republic. China has the largest population. We don't know that. Third largest country. Belongs to the continent of Asia. Summit of Mount Everest marks the border between China and Nepal. Many different languages spoken in China, including Mandarin, Yu, Wu, Minbei, Minang, Xiang, Gan, and Hakka. Capital is Beijing. 47% of the population live in urban areas, but unfortunately, some people still live in caves. China experiences typhoons every year. It also suffers from floods, tsunamis, and earthquakes and droughts. China has the fourth longest river in the world, the Yangtze River, which is about 3,600 miles. That's like from the west coast to the east coast here in the States. That's how long the river is. Also, the sixth longest, the Yellow River, stretching about 2,900 miles. Okay, China has the largest economy in the world after the United States. In 2003, China became the third country to successfully send a person into space. The Great Wall of China is the largest man-made structure in the world, stretching an incredible 8,000 kilometers or 5,000 miles. So 5,000 miles, it's from coast to coast, from the west coast to the east coast, about 3,000 miles. So it goes one way from California to maybe Virginia or DC, and all the way back. That's how long the China Wall is. Okay, the Great Wall of China. Famous giant pandas found near the Yangtze River in China. China's hosted 2008 Olympic Games in Beijing. Okay, so here's cool facts about the color red in China. Okay, the red for them signifies fire. The red is a popular color in Chinese culture, symbolizing luck, joy, and happiness. It also represents celebration, vitality, and fertility in traditional Chinese color symbolism. Red is traditional color worn by Chinese brides, as it is believed to ward off evil. Same here in the United States. Have you guys ever heard of what is it? When you paint your front door red, it's supposed to ward off the evil, right? That's why in Halloween, a long time ago, they used to paint the doors red, the color of blood, to ward off the evil. Okay. Anyways, red also represents the summer season and the element of fire that comes with it. Decorate your kitchen in red to attract good luck in your household. Yellow represents earth. Yellow is an imperial color, traditionally Chinese color symbolism, representing power, loyalty, and prosperity. It also represents the late summer season in the central direction. Yellow represents the earth in traditional Chinese culture. Decorate your kitchen yellow to attract good fortune to your household. So red and yellow. Okay. 5 elements of China. Okay. Chinese beliefs that state that the people are surrounded and influenced by the 5 different energy phases, or qi, known as the 5 elements. Each force is linked to various aspects of Chinese culture, including the food that people eat and what effects it has on the body. It is believed that for one of these elements to alter, it becomes unbalanced. So one of the elements can create the other one or can destroy the other one. Okay. Then a person's life and health can change. We can take a look at 5 elements and how they are linked to the Chinese cookery. So what are the 5 elements? In Chinese culture, the 5 elements are considered to be fire, earth, metal, water, and wood. Like with yin and yang, the 5 elements are all about finding the perfect balance between each part. for each of the 5 elements, there believes to be 2 main relationships: mutual generation and the mutual overcoming. These relationships are taken from these elements interact in nature. For example, mutual generation could be water helps wood grow because of a tree will grow when given water. On the other side, mutual overcoming will be something like water can stop fire or metal can cut wood. So the mutual generation sees growth, whereas the mutual overcoming is typically more a destructive energy. Okay, so how do the elements relate to cookery? And keeping with the idea of some balance, Chinese physicians believe that too much or too little of each element in your life can lead to illness, such as each element representative of one of the our main organs: heart, fire; lungs, metal; liver, wood; kidneys, water; and spleen, earth. Remember, spleen, earth. Okay. Each element also has a number of other connected body parts. However, the one mentioned organ will be the main one. The elements also have an associated color: red for fire, green for wood, yellow for earth, white for metal, and black for water. It is therefore through that if you are feeling unwell in a certain part of your body, eating a relatable food color type will help you improve your health. For example, if your heart pains, you should eat something red, such as red pepper, apples, or tomatoes. Okay. So what are the different food types? Okay, for black food, water, black or blue foods are said to be good at promoting healthy kidneys, ears, bones, and reproductive organs. Of course, black foods are not as high in number as they are colors. The related ingredients usually include black beans, aubergines, blueberries, seaweed tea, and black grapes. White food, metal. White food is related to lungs, nose, respiratory system, skin, and large intestines. With the Chinese cuisine staples, rice, noodles counting as white blood. It is important to balance any of the metal that are element and colors, while foods also include onion, garlic, milk, tofu, sugar, and among others. Yellow food, earth. Your spleen and digestive system will be improved through the consumption of yellow color foods. According to the 5 elements theory, as common as color food, this can involve items such as corn, squash, egg yolk, honey, orange, and soybeans. Red food is fire. Red is good to your heart, brain, and muscle intestine. Food in this category include tomatoes, red pepper, chili, and even carrots. The green food is wood. The last color is green, representing of liver, eyes, muscles, and joints. Green is one of the widest color options, with most fruit and vegetables included in this section. Other examples include wasabi, Chinese leeks, and mung beans. Of course, the 5 element theory, when applied to food, this means I'm more of a guided to enjoying a balanced diet in a way to avoid the doctors. Okay, so here are the 5 elements, how they represent the body, mind, and the food. Okay, again, fire, it's bitter, heart. Earth, yellow is earth, sweet. Okay, stomach, and the lungs, white for the spicy metal, water, and green. And here on the right-hand side, you got fire, earth, metal, water, and wood. Middle, you got the yin and yang. All represent each other. All can create each one, or they can destroy the other one. They're the 5 elements. So keep in mind the 5 elements, guys, all right? Okay. So 10 more, we're going to talk about chopstick etiquette, okay? Because hopefully you guys will have some chopsticks. You can eat your food on Wednesday with your meal, okay? So you got to remember the etiquettes of using chopsticks. No matter where you're eating dim sum, New York, or noodles in Beijing, certain things you should not do with your chopsticks, okay? Should not do with chopsticks. If you want to be civilized, naturally, for many of these are like acceptable when using a knife and a fork either. For example, simple rules of chopsticks etiquette. In any good manners, you'll find you'll be well-mannered chopsticks, use it wherever you go. And if you need, you can buy all this unique styles and chopsticks right here and everything, chopsticks. There we go. 1, don't leave your chopsticks stuck vertically in your food, as this is associated with death. When they burn in China, when they burn incense standing up like rabbit ears. Okay, so don't ever put your chopsticks standing up inverted in your bowl. It means it represents death. Okay, don't eat directly from some serving dishes. Place food first in your plate and then eat from there. Don't stick food with your chopstick. Set the challenge and grab food instead. Don't play with your chopsticks. They are not drumsticks. Okay, wrap them in your plate like drumsticks. Make noise to wave them up in the air. Okay. Don't use personal chopsticks to get food from the serving dish. Use serving chopsticks instead. Do not use chopsticks to push around dishes on your table. Don't sort through food with a serving dish. Don't place your chopsticks directly on the table. Put them across your dish or on a rest. Don't hold your chopsticks in your mouth with your hands, such as when passing a dish. Don't point your chopsticks at other people around the table. Okay, this could mean you could be pursued as being accusing someone else. Okay, so in Japan, here's some chopsticks etiquette in Japan, China, Taiwan, Korea, Vietnam, and Thailand. Okay, so here are the 8 great cuisines of China. There are 8 in China. The many styles of cooking in China by Chinese chefs have identified 8 culinary traditions as the best. These are seen the course of the Chinese cook food. Look at the models. Some each of these foods, these schools have a distinctive style, different strengths. So you got sweet Cantonese food, spicy Sichuan cuisine, fishy Shandong, Fujian cuisine, Jiangsu, Shejian, hot and sour Hunan, and wild and Hui cuisine. Okay, the features of the 8 cuisines of China. Okay, so Guangdong Cantonese cuisine. Okay, sweet, favoring braising and stewing, adding various mild sauces. Cantonese food is most popular style internationally. Guangdong province in Hong Kong, in order for fine seafood dishes, rice, and dishes. They eat every dish, wide variety of foods. The dishes don't serve. They serve don't have a strong flavor since they're highly seasoned. They often tend to be a little sweet. Okay. Cantonese or Yu cuisine originates from Guangdong province, most widely served style in Chinese cuisine in the world. Okay, because of the most Chinese who immigrated to set up the restaurants overseas from Guangdong. So here in the States, we got mostly Cantonese Chinese food cuisine. Throughout what is served abroad now is departed from the authentic Yu cuisine. Okay, names: Cantonese, location Southeast China, distinct of sweeter flavoring, braising, stewing, and various sauces. Okay. The flavors, wide variety of foodstuffs are used to make Cantonese dishes. Therefore, it surprises foreigners sometimes. They say they eat everything with 4 legs except tables and everything that flies except airplanes. Hence the bad. It's an exaggeration. But dishes might contain snakes, cats, and dogs. Yes, dogs are eaten in China, Vietnam, Korea, and not Thailand, Thailand too. Okay. And the sea lion, not familiar with the most foreigners. Keep that in mind when you're ordering something off the menu with a strange Cantonese names. Authentic Cantonese chefs' goal is to preserve food, original flavor, unlike other Chinese styles cooking, such as Sichuan style with cooked berries of food and a lot of spices and oil. Cantonese chefs aim to bring out the highlight of the original flavor of the vegetable, meat, or fruit. So a little spice or sugar is used generally. Result is cooking technique is produce food that might be bland or insipid to foreigners who are used to overseas style of Chinese food, where a lot of more sugar and spice are used. It takes some time to appreciate the mild, distinctive flavors of the meat, vegetables, and fruit. It is not fattening. Unlike overseas Chinese food, some regional styles, a lot of oil grease isn't used either. Neither are the daily products. So like any creamy cheese, wontons, and sweet or sour pork, or the rice meal at a Chinese fast food restaurant overseas. There are a lot of calories in dishes. It is combined with the white rice and rice noodles that is staple to the dim sum, made with little or no sugar, may leave foreigner feeling hungry. Okay. Seasonings: they use chives, coriander, leaves, anise, touch of black pepper, slivers of ginger for mild tanginess, accents the flavor of the food. But unless food itself smells or tastes bad alone, these spices are used. Rice vinegar accentuates the flavor of vegetables, and a little salt does also. Pinch of sugar gives food mildly sweet taste. When the food is delicious as it is among no seasonings is added. For example, a fresh sea fish, if it isn't served raw like Japanese sashimi, but not to preserve the accentuate the flavors, delicious flavors. The Cantonese steam it and just add a little bit of soy sauce, ginger, perhaps a little bit, some little chives. Like Japanese, Cantonese delights on natural flavors for the fresh sea fish. Okay. Cooking methods: a lot of stir frying or steaming. Common cooking methods. Okay. Number 2, Sichuan cuisine. Okay, spicy and bold, often mouth numbing, using lots of chili, garlic, ginger, and peanuts. Sichuan province produces the most widely served cuisine in China. Dishes are famous for their hot, spicy taste and the numbing flavor of Sichuan peppercorns. that is rare in the other regional cuisines. It is a food of Shandong, which used to be part of Sichuan. Okay. Okay. The flavors holds reputation for its variety of seasonings used. Is each dish requires different cooking methods. As they say, saying goes, one dish, one flavor. With 100 dishes come 100 flavors. Sichuan food is most well known for its hot and spicy flavor. Most it may sport sweet and sour flavors too. The most commonly used spices you can find in most household eateries. The 5 fragrances, which are consist of fennel, pepper, anise, cinnamon, clove, chili, and Sichuan pepper. Okay. Cooking methods are very close to texture and bite requires a specific dish. Every cooking includes stir frying, steaming, braising, baking, and most popular, which is fat frying. Jiangsu cuisine, fresh, moderate, salty, and sweet. Precise cooking techniques favoring seafood, soups, and artistic, colorful presentation. Jiangsu province in China's biggest city, Shanghai, have been very refined gourmet cuisine that is often served at government banquets. What is special in this exquisite cooking techniques? It produces richly aromatic and visually artistic dishes. Their chefs also focus on serving meals that promote health. Jiangsu cuisine is one of the lesser known of the 8 great cuisines in China. Among foreigners, Jiangsu province has the highest per capita income. Probably in the region, the food is more gourmet style. It's very refined and presenting colorful artistics. Okay. Wide variety of seafood are eaten, like most Western seafood restaurants, where the main dishes include a few varieties of fish and oysters. Jiangsu people eat many things people have never seen. Wide range of sea vegetables, dishes, and something helpful to explore. The chefs emphasize bringing out the dish natural flavors, so the rich range meat and the plant ingredients of the dishes. So the chefs, they don't add much salt, sugar, seasonings, the chili powder that have overwhelming ingredients flavor. So their meals are richly aromatic. Seafood, a lot of seafood. Staples, both rice and wheat products are staples. Jiangsu province. People also grow various root crops or staple foods. Favorite dish and popular snacks. Sweet tower filled with rice balls and cakes. Herbs and vegetables. Province also known for its wide diversity of agricultural products. A lot of lakes and ponds in the region, so much water shield, lotus, Chinese chestnuts, water bamboo shoots, water bamboo, and water chestnuts are also eaten. Jiangsu contemporarily wealthy people also particularly about choosing vegetables, herb combination. Okay, Jiangsu chefs pay attention to the both seasons and the weather, and according to their understanding, they use different foods to achieve balance and promote the health of comfort. Okay, so cooking styles. Okay, reflecting on the wealthy imperial regions of the style, their style of chefs will elaborate on the precise cooking methods. Okay, so they have 6 styles. Those in Huyan, Nanjing, Jiangsu, Suzhou, and the less notable styles of the Xiaxu and Kaishu. Chinese chefs think of Huyan style as one of the 4 best in China and is frequently served at government banquets. It is considered to be one of the 4 most influential regional cuisine styles. Okay. Zhejiang cuisine. Zhejiang cuisine. Mellow, using fresh seafood, freshwater fish, bamboo shoots, wide variety cooking methods. Provinces the Jiangsu. It borders Shanghai too, so their style is similar to theirs, but it's less elaborate and prepared. The focus more serving fresh fruit. The food is often served raw or almost raw and fresh, crispy, seasonal, and more like Japanese food. Ningmo is very quite salty. Shanghai region is from the populous rich eastern province of Shanghai in the Pacific. If you don't like spicy cuisine, prefers fish and seafood. Okay. Hangzhou is the capital of Southern Song Dynasty, which was city was run for this wealth and sophistication. Maybe why the food is usually dainty and refined. Okay, great seafood. Used to make Sangchua dishes like most Western seafood restaurants, where main dishes include a few varieties of fish, oysters. The people of Shengshan can eat all these things from sea most of the people that can ever see, such as sea cucumbers and a variety of sea vegetables you can explore. Okay. So the richest province in China is also called the land of milk and honey. So the people will expect extra refined touch to their food. It isn't greasy, not mouth-numbing, not too sour, not too sweet, but rather bland either. Okay. Sweet desserts. Sweet Ningbo rice balls and rice cakes are an example of local sweet foods. Glutinous rice and sugar gives a sweet taste that is often eaten with celebrations, festivals, and snacks. The rice balls may have black sesames or red bean filling mixed with sugar flavorings, but include cassia, cinnamon, and flowers. So in this region, this is where the mochi comes from. Okay, the mochi on the outside has the red beans inside. Okay, they also believe in soaking in brine. Style of cooking is usually unusual, but it's common in Ningbo when Salty food is popular, similar to pickling meat, is simply left to soak and brine and eaten. Okay. So Fujian, lighter, mild, sweet, and sour taste, using ingredients from the sea and mountains. Fujian province is known for its great seafood soups, precise and scintillating but not tongue-numbing spices, adding much wild exotic delicacies from the sea and mountains make the dishes have unusual flavors. It is like culinary wild adventure. Fujian cuisine originates from the southern province Fujian. High history of the cuisine dates back to the 5,000 years. Created seafood soups and precise use of scintillating but not tongue-numbing. Okay. 3 styles. The 4 notable features: unusual ingredients, soups, and decorating seasonings. Is known for the exotic delicacies. Okay. The Fujians have won the natural resources, mean that their cuisine is rich, quality, nutritious ingredients. They also use somewhat exotic ingredients such as wild foods, herbs, mushrooms, bamboo, many kinds of seafoods. Nutritious, good for good dieters, but it's for high calorie. Okay. So their flavors is sweet and sour, many flavors of the sea. Okay. Condiments and seasonings: salty seasonings, sea salt, shrimp sauce, shrimp oil, and soy sauce. Sour seasonings: white vinegar and gâteau, a vegetable similar to green onion. Sweet seasonings include brown sugar, anise, cassia, cinnamon. Hot seasonings: pepper, mustard, sacha sauce. Their favorite cooking methods. Okay, perhaps the history of the province, the region was heaven for refugees from the large Western Xia Empire and Tang Empire. They brought with them the cooking styles from the position of the coast, mean that they had contact with Japanese and people from the Southeast Asia too. They use numerous methods of cooking: pan frying, deep frying, boiling, baking, stewing, mixing, sauteing with wine, stewing in gravy, grilling, cooking with red rice wine, simmering, stir frying, smoking, braising, and salting. They use red rice wine. The most popular method cooking, the most peculiar method cooking is cooking in red rice wine. Includes stir frying with rice wine, baking in red rice wine, quick frying with red rice wine, and deep frying with red rice wine. The drunken cooked in wine. These are prevalent to Fujian province, famous throughout China. Hunan cuisine. Okay. Hunan cuisine. Quite spicy with a hot and sour taste, favoring sauteed, stir frying, steaming, and smoking. You like Sichuan food, you probably like Hunan food too, since it's even hotter, then it's more delicious because they don't use peppercorns that numb them out. It is rich in culture areas, produces a broad range of vegetables and herbs, and they are served up hot. Most tourists who visit China get to know the spicy red hot flavors of Sichuan. Cuisine is a tourist favorite, but in most Hunan province, the food is maybe hotter. Okay. Eating Hunan food is fun. You'll have the chance to try some of the tongue. When you're tongue of the new kind of cuisine, you'll experience some of the burning numbness of Sichuan. Okay. Many of the different tastes for the food. Party seems to stem easily from the wide variety of agricultural products. Several kinds of chili peppers are grown. Citrus fruit is one of the major crops and tends to be yummy, sour flavored dishes such as the popular Hunan orange chicken. Chopped chili. Hunan food is actually hotter than Sichuan food. Sichuan use peppercorn that numbs your mouth, so the food all starts to taste the same. Instead, the Hunanese use vinegar with white pepper. It serves to stimulate the taste buds and make them tingle, so you can be better perceptive of the wide flavors of the rich ingredients and spices. The numbing Sichuan food might give you a higher blood pressure, pulse rate. You need to drink something cold or go out for a walk in the town. Okay. Seasonings. Favorite cooking. They use hot peppers, green onions, shallots, garlic, ginger, spice oil, luala jiao, and cassia cinnamon. Okay. The favorite cooking methods are to store vegetables and meat in the winter to preserve them through the hot summers. Hunanese have traditionally eaten much pickled and fermented food. The pickled tofu by letting it sit for weeks, and then mixed with liquor, salt, star anise, and chili fermentations, cooking jars, and to put in a plain jar for a month or more. Okay. Anhui cuisine uses many wild plants, animals as ingredients, flavoring, stewing, and more oil. Anhui is even wilder than Fujian cuisine. It is inland, and big mountains such as Yellow Mountains are the source of a lot of different wild food herbs. Basically, hardy mountain peasant food. Some of the best dishes incorporate wild food for initial taste. Some of the dishes sweet from added sugar. Anhui cuisine is one of the lesser known of the 8 cuisines of China. Anhui province is poor inland province west of Shanghai. It's mostly basically heaven and hardy mountain peasant food, almost a diet of the Yellow Mountains. Okay, the best Anhui food known for incorporating wild ingredients of local mountains, tasty, different, and healthy cuisine. Okay, ingredients: Delicacies from the mountains. Ingredients include both wild cultivated and fungi mushrooms are delicious flavors for their natural flavors. Herbs and vegetables for Chinese food medicine. They attention to both season and weather, and they use it in foods and yang foods as necessary to achieve balance and promote health and comfort. Locally produced bayberry, tea leaves, bamboo shoots, and dates are all come in the mountains. Okay. Staples nowadays, both rice and wheat products are the staples, but times in the past, traditional staples was rice. Huis also grows various roots and crops, including staples as kind of the land. Okay. They also use pork and ham. If you like pork, it's with this cuisine for use and it makes a way of many popular dishes they include. Okay. Cooking methods. Hui chefs are particularly about controlling the cooking time and temperature. High, medium, or low heat is applied to according to the quality and characteristics of different ingredients and the flavor requirements finish in the dishes. They aim to cook food for perfection and not overcook to protect nutrition. So they have special skill in sauteing, stewing to achieve the delicate, lightning taste. Okay. Number 8, the last one, Shandong cuisine, salty, crispy, flavor embracing, and seafood. One of the first civilized areas, it was said of the panel, the northern styles of cooking with long coast. Seafood is forte. They preserve the original taste of the seafood by using simple ingredients and bracing. And they're like vinegar and salt, like southern cuisines. They serve much more of the wheat food, including the noodles. Shandong province, a long coast, so fresh river fish and seafood always the local delicacies. It's one of the first civilized regions of China and agricultural center. Its cooking tradition set in the style of the regions around it, especially in the north of Beijing, northeastern China. Now, Shandong cuisine is relished for the many kinds of different foods, dishes that style from the high heat that locks the flavors in this oily. Okay, a lot of seafood spices used on the Sichuan cuisine. Ginger is commonly used along with red pepper, but spices less heavily applied than Sichuan cuisine. Some of the condiments, vinegar is heavily used. Also known for the dark connoisseur of God's vinegars. Some people think drink as a medicinal. Soy sauce also used as well too. Cooking methods. The chef's goals are like any of the Chinese styles. Sichuan, where the cooks berries and food and a lot of spice and oil. The main aim to authentic Shandong chef's style of chef is to preserve the cut, color, and taste of the main ingredient. So extreme heat stir frying, bao. Their chefs love to cook meat and vegetables in a wok over a big flame. They make the oil boil and extremely high temperatures and toss in the ingredients for a quick fry. This singes the outer layer and locks the flavor. It also keeps oil from seeping into the food. Also poured out the oil and the main ingredient are cooked. Ones they will add the spices, herbs, and seasonings and stir fry quickly and they serve it hot. Okay. Fried dough coating method. Pie is another method of frying, and they supply flour to cut meat, then stir fry it to make it crispy. Your kung pao chicken tomorrow, it's one of them. A lot of soup making and healthy food. Okay. So here are the top 15 most popular Chinese dishes. Okay, from China. Number 2. Number 2, Sichuan pork, poached, spicy slice of pork, famous as Sichuan cuisine dish. Rather than cooking pork by stir frying or deep frying, which consumes lots of oil and can be very easily overcooking the pork, boiled in water and coating made from egg, wet in starch to preserve the freshness and tenderness. Meaty broth is typically Sichuan cuisine. Feature peppery and spicy tastes. When eating, you'll find each piece of meat contains an abundant juices with fresh and fragrant spice aroma. Number 3, braised pork balls in gravy. Braised pork balls in gravy, also known as Chinese meatballs. Many of our clients call them this. If you like meatballs and spaghetti, you'll probably appreciate Chinese meatballs as well. Super smooth and flavoring gravy. It's almost like a drug sauce, keeping your taste buds wanting more and more. How many calories? Don't count. Okay. Shrimp with vermicelli and garlic. Shrimp with vermicelli and garlic is a dish not only favored by the foreigners, but also the Chinese younger generation in recent years as well. The steamed dish brings out the aroma of the everything it has. The heavy garlic and with seafood sauce flavor blends with the freshness of juicy shrimp. Vermicelli at the bottom absorbs the very single drip of tasty juice running down. Some Chinese yellow wine to capture the aroma. Okay. Dumplings. Dumpling consists of minced meat, chopped vegetables wrapped in a thin dough. With a long history of more than 1,800 years, dumplings are deliciously food widely popular in North China. Popular fillings include minced pork, shrimp, ground chicken, beef, vegetables. They can also be cooked by boiling, steaming, or frying, or even searing on a flat top. Okay. Traditional dish eaten New Year's, Chinese New Year's Day, Eve. Okay. Chow mein. Chow mein is the Cantonese pronunciation of the Chinese characters above, which means stir-fried noodles. Generally speaking, this is stir-fried. This consists of noodles, meat, usually chicken, beef, shrimp, or pork, onions, and celery. Peking roasting duck. Peking duck is a famous dish from Beijing. Enjoying the world fame, it's considered one of the China's national dishes. Peking duck is favored and as thin and crispy. The sliced Peking duck is something eaten with pancakes, sweet bean sauce, or soy sauce, mashed garlic, and it's a taste dish in Beijing. Steamed vermicelli rolls. Steamed vermicelli rolls are definitely one of the most orders in a dim sum meal. They're not only an excellent choice, tea houses, morning tea restaurants, and street food and bazaars, but also delicacy many people's breakfast in the rest of China. Okay. And fried shrimp with cashew nuts. Fried shrimp cashew nuts is a popular dish among foreigners in China. This name explains everything. You get a tenderness of the peeled shrimps, crispness of the cashew nuts. The shrimp is always tender and juicy, and it's easy to deal with. You travel with the kids, it's a good dish. Sweet and sour pork. I see this a lot on Chinese buffets. Sweet and sour pork has a bright orange-red color, delicious sweet and sour taste. The very beginning, there was only a sweet and sour pork, but not to meet demands, but there's been some developments on the dish now. Okay. Kung Pao chicken. That is on this day's menu on Wednesday, Kung Pao. Famous Sichuan style specialty, popular in both Chinese and foreigners. The major ingredients is diced chicken, dried chili, and fried peanuts. It's easy to make, guys. It can be made in less than 5 minutes if you have everything missed out. Okay. Mapo tofu. Tofu is one of the most famous dishes, Chuan cuisine with a history of more than 100 years. Ma describes a spicy and hot taste which comes from pepper powder, kind of combination using Chuan cuisine. Okay. Milky tofu is enriched with brownish red ground beef and chopped with green onions. Really a tasty delicacy. Wontons, we know all about wontons. Have been a customary food for people to eat with their winter solstice since the Tang Dynasty, 618-907. The most versatile shape of wonton simply right triangle, similar to the Italian tortellini. Wontons are commonly boiled, served in soup, sometimes deep fried. Something can be pork, shrimp, or beef. Okay. Spring rolls. You're also going to be making these spring rolls. Are Cantonese dim sum or cylindrical shape. Filling spring rolls could be vegetables, meat, and the taste could be either sweet or savory. Fillings wrapped spring roll wrappers. The next step is frying. Then the spring rolls are given the golden color. The dish is especially popular in Jiangsu, Fujian, and a lot of other places. Yang Chow fried rice. It's on your menu. Okay, Yang Chow fried rice. Classic fried rice you have to try if you travel to Jiangsu. It is this dish, see the chefs do fried rice the best. Yang Chow fried rice has distinguished itself from thousands of types of fried rice in China, has gained its own name. Okay. Standard flavorsome ingredients, Yang Chow fried rice of peeled shrimp, diced ham. We're not going to use ham. Carrots, mushrooms, baby bamboo shoots, crumbled egg, and corn. All the ingredients have been cooked, and the aroma has been brought out. They're stir-fried with rice until it becomes golden yellow. Okay. So tomorrow, here we go. Kung Pao chicken. Okay. Kung Pao chicken. Let me pop it in. Okay. Easy dish. You guys still with me? What do we lose? Okay. All right, guys. Let's see if they can look at Kung Pao chicken. Okay. Easy dish to make.
3 months of Disney Plus.
Why are you?
Yes, please. Switch to Chromebook.
Oh yeah.
Kung Pao chicken, dinner for two. I'm going to show you how to make it. Simple, easy, and quick. Here are the ingredients. I got some chopped green onion, the hard part, roasted red chili, dry, roasted, salted peanuts, some chopped bell peppers, green.
So if I were you guys, I'd take a look at the knife cuts, okay? Knife cuts are very, very important because everything gets cooked on the wok or in a saute pan in less than 5 minutes. Your chicken has to be cut very thin strips, okay? Your peppers are either small dice, your onions, okay? And your peanuts whole, and your chili flakes. So take a look at the knife cuts.
Red pepper. And this is the boneless, skinless chicken breast. Thinly sliced like this. I marinated with egg white and a couple tablespoons of cornstarch. Mix this nice and balanced, like this, not too runny. I'll show you how to cook.
Oh, wait.
First, we heat the frying pan nice and hot. Some vegetable cooking oil. Swirl a little bit. If your frying pan is nice and hot with some hot oil, so when we add the marinated chicken in, it will not stick together with the pan. So now I think the oil is burning a little bit. So we're gonna add the chicken in, spread around. And we're gonna let them cook for maybe like 15 to 20 seconds until they brown the bottom of the chicken before we're gonna stir. That will prevent them by sticking the raw chicken meat on the pan. This video is not going to take long, so I'm going to show you pretty much the whole process. Now I can see brown the chicken, so you keep them gently stir like that. We're just going to cook the chicken for a couple minutes, almost like 60 to 70% cooked. And we're going to set it aside. Once I see the pink color disappear, then it's ready. All right, so this is ready. We're going to take it out. Hot pan, add some vegetable cooking oil. Now we're going to add in the dry hot chili and the green onion first. We want a 爆香. 爆香 means we want to flavor the dry roasted hot chili.
Okay, so chef,
And you can smell
with that
flavor and smoky
the
flavor.
special oil I told you about, would I do it with the chicken or with this?
You can do it with this.
Not the chicken?
No.
Okay.
And now we're going to add some ginger and garlic. Minced ginger and garlic. Now I can start to smell the dry roasted hot chili. Nice flavor. We infuse the oil now. Next, we're just going to make it simple. Add the bell pepper and the roasted peanuts all together in. Give them a quick stir. Now I know the pan and the oil is nice and hot. The chicken should nicely rest. Add it in. You see, that's some juice and the excess oil. Give them a quick stir. Guess what? Sherry cooking wine first. Nice. Oyster sauce, umami, soy sauce. Just like that. Give a quick stir. I keep playing with it. That's been good. Okay, now I'm just gonna add some stock, not much, 1 or 2 ounces like that. Not much. Give them a quick taste. Delicious. I got some cornstarch mix dissolved into the cold water. I'm gonna thicken the sauce to give it more flavor.
So he just added a little bit of slurry to thicken up the sauce.
We are building the flavor. Infuse the oil. We roasted hot chili and ginger and garlic. And then we stir with the bell pepper, got really nice flavor. Sprinkle with the cherry cookie lime. And then we got the flavor with soy sauce and everything else. Now this is perfect. The end, sesame oil, fragrant the flavor. Guess what? The dish is done. Ready to serve.
And that's your Kung Pao chicken. Easy to make, guys. Easy to make. So if you have a wok, you can make it in the wok. If you don't, make it in a saute pan too, or one of the pans that he had on the screen on the video. Okay. So Kung Pao chicken tomorrow. Okay. Of course, steamed jasmine rice to go with the Kung Pao chicken. Kung Pao chicken on top of the steamed jasmine rice. Okay. And you're also going to make vegetable lo mein tomorrow. Vegetable lo mein. Okay. Another quick one of vegetable lo mein. See if I can find it here. This one is not spicy. It doesn't have a lot of spiciness in it, okay?
Okay.
Is the right one? No, it's spicy. Come on.
3 months of Disney Plus.
No, that's not what I want. I don't want Disney Plus. Here we go.
Also find me and more of what I'm cooking on my favorite Chinese meals. It is so quick, easy, and delicious. I'm Tess, and welcome to my kitchen. I buy my lo mein noodles at my local Asian grocery store. I buy them frozen and thaw when I'm ready. This is a pound of lo mein noodles. They come in very long strands, so I try to find the middle and cut them in half so they're more cooking and eating friendly. Lo mein noodles are an egg noodle, so they won't take long to cook, only about 4 to 5 minutes. Then I'm going to drain and rinse with cold water to stop the cooking process. You can add a little oil at this point to keep the strands separated, but I find just a little fluff every now and then does the trick. If you can't find lo mein noodles, you can also use a pasta like spaghetti, linguine, or fettuccine. This is another stir fry, so you want to have everything prepped and ready to go before cooking. Tonight I'm using some garden onions, and I just love celery and carrots in my lo mein. I usually use sliced cabbage or Napa cabbage, but I only had bok choy, so I'm using both the bottom and the tops. Basically, I use what I have on hand, and I cut the veggies into matchstick-sized pieces so they cook fast and mix well with the lo mein. And now for the sauce. Of course, we have to start with some soy sauce. And this is my little secret to a good lo mein. I've made a lot of lo mein over the years, and I found using this mushroom dark soy sauce will give the lo mein that smoky hint of flavor. You can use just a dark soy sauce, but I find it does not taste the same. Also going in with some oyster sauce and some chicken broth to thin it out. You can also use water or vegetable broth. A little bit of white pepper and a drizzle of sesame oil, giving that a good whisk and setting to the side. You can find this recipe and the list of ingredients in the description box below. I think we're finally ready for the fun part, and we're going to be eating in 10 minutes. In my wok on medium high, I'm adding a couple tablespoons of oil, the whites of my garden onions, minced garlic, and ginger, giving that a good stir.
Also known as OGGS, oil, garlic, ginger, and scallions. In this case, we utilize sesame seed oil. Remember that acronym, OGGS, okay?
For about 30 seconds, and then we will add more veggies. Turning my heat up to high, and in goes my carrots, celery, and the bottoms of my bok choy. Going to stir constantly and cook for about 2 minutes. This goes quickly. If you like this lo mein recipe video, please remember to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment below. You can also find me and more of what I'm cooking on Facebook and Test Cooks For You blog. Next are the bamboo shoots that are rinsed really well and drained. Stirring and cooking for another 1 to 2 minutes. Here are the tops to the bok choy and the green onions. This is half of the pound of lo mein. I'm dividing it into 2. It makes it easier to handle in the wok. In goes half of the sauce I made, and I'm saving the other half for the next round of lo mein. I wish you could smell this. Giving this a good toss to make sure everything is well combined and it's ready to serve. I find that some put sugar in their lo mein sauce to sweeten. We don't like our lo mein sweet, but you can adjust to your taste. My second batch of lo mein, I'm adding one of my favorites, and that is bean sprouts.
So lo mein. Another easy day, guys. And that is China, day 1. Any questions about that day? This is Wednesday. No questions? Kung Pao chicken?
So we're only doing 3 items: Kung Pao chicken, jasmine rice, and
lo mein.
The lo mein noodles?
But be careful because you are going to use double the amount of rice, okay? You're going to say half, you're going to serve half for the Kung Pao, and the other half you're going to cool it and spread it on a cookie sheet tray flat and store it in your refrigerator, saran wrap, for the next day. You need that rice to be dried and cool for your fried rice. Okay, so cook rice times 2.
Okay.
Okay. Any thoughts about tomorrow? I mean, Wednesday.
The rice has to be cool, right?
Right. For the fried rice has to be cold, okay?
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. So that's Wednesday, okay? Let's take a look at Thursday. It's another easy day, okay? China, part 2, okay? Some more fun facts about China. They got weird table manners, okay? Like spitting, yawning, or grunting and burping are normal behaviors when you eat in China, okay? We covered last, we're gonna go more facts about China. This one is kind of really grossed out, guys. Children's toilet etiquette. Really weird. Diapers are not popular in China, so most children wear special pants with the big hole bottoms. When they feel the need to make a poo or pee, they just squat and do it wherever they want. Yikes. Okay. Most populated country, we already went over that. Okay. One of the biggest countries, we went over that too. Okay. Largest army. They got about 2 million people in the army compared to the same population as in Paris. That's how many people they have in the army. China is the owner of all pandas, literally all of them. Every single panda that lives in this world belongs to China. If you see a panda in other countries, it means that it's lent from the Republic of China. What is interesting is that when a baby panda is born, it is sent to China always by FedEx to help expand the gene pool. Okay. Traffic jam. China is the most populated country in the world. The one that they have a huge traffic jam problems. Okay. So what do you do when you're late for your meeting? You're stuck in traffic jam. You're calling the bottleneck. You call the bottleneck rescuers. 2 guys will come to you on a motorbike. One will drive you to wherever you want, and the other one will take your place in the car. How's that for getting stuck in a traffic jam? Right? Relics of the past. Believable, but 35 million Chinese people still live in caves. Like I said earlier, they still live in caves. They don't have enough money to build a house, so they're using caves as their shelters. Okay. Late sunrises. China is a huge country with only one time zone. That is why in some places the sun rises even at 10 a.m. In the past, China has 5 different time zones, but in 1949, Communist Party leaders decided to set one time for the whole country. Since then, everybody is using the official Beijing time. New Year's fiesta. New Year's is the biggest holiday in China. It's celebrated in January and February. It is the real holiday for everybody. Almost nobody is working. Everybody's going back home to celebrate with this happy time with their families. China's New Year celebration lasts for 15 days. Nothing can be compared to this. And really, initially for the whole country is having a holiday for such a long time. What is interesting that Chinese New Year celebrated in many other countries in the world. Considering the huge population of China, it is very likely that Chinese New Year is even more popular than Christmas. Birth restrictions. China is the only country in the world with the reproductions limited. Until 2015, Chinese couples have only had one child. More than a year now, they can have two. Okay. Half of the pigs in the world belong to China. On an average day, Chinese people consume about 1.7 million pigs. Multi-religious country. Due to the huge population in China, almost every religion in the world is gathered as at there. Most popular are Taoism, Communism, and Buddhism. An interesting fact, there are more Christians in China than there are in Italy. Italy is a big Christian country. Ice cream inventors. Who doesn't love ice cream? We can eat this delicious desserts thanks to China. Believe that they first made it more than 4,000 years ago by mixing milk and rice mixture in the snow. Okay. Medical geniuses. Okay. Nowadays, nowadays, we all know that blood's circulating in our veins, but it wasn't obvious in the past. European scientist William Harvey was proud to announce this in 1628. He didn't know that Chinese people discovered it more than 2,000 years before him. Okay, mathematical geniuses. Isn't a big secret that Chinese people are one of the best mathematics in the world. History of mathematics in China dates back to 11th century BC. Thanks to China, we now know today the number zero, the decimal and binary system, geometry, trigonometry, and algebra, thanks to the Chinese. Architectural geniuses, commonly known as the fact that the world's biggest man-made structure is situated in China. The Great Wall is not visible, okay, from space, but it's still impressively long, okay. Gods of war, Chinese people that were the first to use gas and chemical weapons during the war. Europeans did the same 2,000 years after them. Kind of weapons were used during the World War II, okay. Last but not least, China is the world's longest continuous civilization, began about 6,000 BC and lasts until today, and it keeps on going. Your menu for Thursday. Spring rolls. Spring rolls. Okay. Easy to make, but it's all about your knife cuts. Okay. Here we go. Another one. Okay. And like I said, like I tell anybody in the past, if you know how to roll a blunt or a doobie, you know how to roll a spring roll. Or
And if you don't,
you know how to roll a chimichanga and a burrito?
huh?
You know how to roll a chimichanga and a burrito?
Nope.
Taco?
It'll be a learning experience.
All right. Here we go. Okay.
Back in the day, people liked to eat them on the really True Day, which is at the beginning of the spring, and they call it True White Spring. And later gradually developed to that you would eat them anytime you want. And since spring's coming right up, we're going to make spring rolls. And these are the ingredients. Alright, so for the preparation process, we're going to start the wood chip.
Take a look at the knife cuts, guys. Okay, the knife cut's very important. Okay, everything is fine julienne. Okay. Fine julienne on knife cuts. And just FYI, her mouth tends to not match with her voice as she's talking, okay? Looks like one of those 70s Kung Fu movies.
Water overnight, and then finely chopped. Oh, by the way, I also have a fun fact about wood deer mushroom in Chinese we call it wu. It is high in protein, iron, and also collagen. Chinese women consider it as a type of beauty food. And when you eat it regularly, it actually helps promote a healthy, rosy, and also radiant skin. And also, we're going to still glass nearly hot water for about 30
Don't forget the glass noodles in your spring rolls.
Don't forget the what, chef?
Don't forget the rice noodles in your spring rolls. You gotta soak them in hot water, okay?
Julienne cabbages, 2 ounces of half shimeji mushroom,
Or regular sliced mushrooms.
2 ounces of finely chopped Fujian mushroom, 2 ounces of julienne snow peas.
Or green onions.
Fry them until the aroma comes up. Then add 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, a pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper, a pinch of sugar.
So be careful when you use salt because using soy sauce, it is already salty.
Now just mix well. And then add 2 ounces of chopped glass noodles and stir fry until combined. And lastly, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of cornstarch mixed with 1.
This is very important, guys. You gotta add the slurry so everything tightens up. So when you roll it into your spring roll, it's not gonna bleed out. So when you deep fry it, it's not gonna fall apart or poke holes in it, okay? Remember the cornstarch slurry in your spring rolls. Don't forget.
Tablespoon of water. The cornstarch water is going to seal the flavor and the juice of the vegetable inside. So it won't be watery while wrapping the spring rolls later. And then mix up, just let it cool, let it cool, let it cool. Let the filling cool down for a little bit so then we can wrap the spring rolls. Alright, so now to make the glue in a small bowl, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour and mix with 3 tablespoons
You can use egg wash if you have one, okay? But you can also use this mixture of water and flour.
of water. Now
Here we go.
lay the wrapper out flat like a diamond shape. Place about 2 tablespoons of room temperature filling on the spring roll wrapper, about 2 inches above the bottom corner of the wrapper. And then tightly roll the wrapper and the filling halfway.
Nice and tight.
Fold the left edge over right against the edge of the filling. And then fold the right edge over too. So at this point, it almost looks like an open envelope.
Nice and tight, okay?
And now we're going to fold it up again and seal with the flour mixture. Leave no space for air pockets. Cover all the spring rolls with plastic wrap to prevent drying out. They dry out really easily. And now we're just going to finish the rest. So then we're going to pour about 2 inches of vegetable oil into a heavy bottom pot and heat to about 350 Fahrenheit. So here's the tip. To test and see if the oil is ready, throw in a tiny piece of wrapper in the pot. And if the piece flew right up and has little bubbles all around it, then it's ready.
Your test to see if the oil is hot enough, temper with your thermometer. It's supposed to be 350 degrees, okay? Anything that you deep fried is at 350 degrees. You want to test the oil like she did, that's fine too. But remember, as you're dropping the, you got to control the heat temperature. As you're dropping the spring rolls one by one, the temperature might go down, but if you have your heat too high, it's going to go about 350. You have to wait a while for the oil to come down, okay? So once it reaches about 320, 330, then go ahead and drop your heat and then start frying your egg rolls. Because if you wait till it gets to 350, by the time you start dry your egg rolls, it's going to be about 400 degrees. It's going to burn it. So a good temperature to start frying in is a 320, 325. Because at that point, the oil is going to go hot, sky high, in a splash in a second, okay?
So now let's fry the spring rolls a few at a time. And we can turn them over frequently so that they brown evenly. When they reach an even golden brown color, transfer the spring rolls on a paper towel and allow them to drain. Repeat with the rest of the spring rolls.
There you go, nice and tight, no pockets, no tears, golden brown. Okay. And when you cut them in half, they're supposed to be nice and firm, kind of like your cabbage rolls. Everything's nice and firm inside. Okay. So that's spring rolls for you guys. Any thoughts about the spring rolls? There's a link. Okay. So spring rolls on Thursday. Okay. Mr. Cameron, Nicole, Edgar, Kyle, and Alex. Okay. On Thursday, spring rolls. Okay. Next one up is young child fried rice. Okay. Now with this one, it's all about the knife cuts. Your celery and carrots, fine dice, almost brunoise. Okay. Your Chinese sausage, fine dice too. Okay. And then you're gonna have your OGGS. Okay. Sesame seed oil, garlic, ginger, and scallions. Okay. You're gonna beat up some eggs. You're gonna cook scrambled eggs, and then once you cook, set them aside. You're gonna have your green peas set aside too, and your rice from the previous day, already set to go. Okay, so you're gonna have your OGGS, your cooked scrambled eggs, your peas, your Chinese sausage, celery and carrots, and if you have shrimp or chicken to go with it. Soy sauce as a flavoring. You're not going to use salt. Okay, soy sauce is going to be your flavoring. So what you do on this one, you have your either your saute pan or your wok. You're going to add your hot sesame seed oil. Sesame seed oil, get it nice and hot. Drop your garlic, ginger, and scallions until you smell the aroma. Okay, once you smell the aroma, then go ahead and drop your onions. Your celery and carrots, Chinese sausage, your chicken or your shrimp, whichever you're using. Okay. Saute them until they're partially cooked, not all the way cooked, because otherwise it's going to burn your garlic in the wok or saute pan. Once you have partially cooked, go ahead and drop your rice. Okay. Give it some stir or saute it like an omelet action station. Okay. Toss it back and forth until the whole rice gets coated in sesame seed oil. You might have to drop a little bit more sesame seed oil to get most of the rice coated in that oil. Okay. Once the rice has been coated, it's going to be a little bit warmer now. Okay. When it gets, continue stirring until the rice gets nice, more hot. Add your scrambled eggs, your frozen peas. Okay. Keep on tossing it, and then hit it with your soy sauce. Not a lot of soy sauce. I had one student who almost utilized 10 ounces, 12 ounces of soy sauce, and that stir fry was unedible. It was so salty, it might as well lick a brick of salt. Okay. Hit it with a little bit of soy sauce, and then taste it. Okay. Add more if you need it. At that point, go ahead and put it aside. You're done with it. It cooks less than 5 minutes. Okay. OGGS, carrots, celery, your protein, your rice, peas, eggs, soy sauce. 6 steps, less than 5 minutes. Okay. Less than 5 minutes, guys, and the rice is done. The flavor profile of this fried rice is one of my favorites. It's when you bite into it, you're going to get that OGGS flavor first, and then everything else behind it. Okay, so you're going to use adequate amount of garlic, ginger, and scallions. Okay, for 2 servings, you might use about 2 tablespoons of garlic, ginger, and scallions, and about 3 to 4 of sesame seed oil. So again, I can't emphasize that much, but you really need to taste that garlic, ginger, and scallions. Once you taste it, anywhere else you go to eat a fried rice, it will not be the same because they don't use the same OGGS. Costs too much money, it's too much labor. Okay. Young child fried rice. Okay. Next is your chicken satay with peanut sauce. A little bit of the Philippines. Okay. A little bit of the Philippines. It's equally about the same technique as your chicken shish kebabs. In a wooden stick, marinate it, and then sear it off or grill if you have a grill. Okay. And peanut sauce is relatively easy too. You follow the recipe on the portal, and there should be a thick dipping sauce for your chicken satay. Okay. Any thoughts about Thursday?
Nope.
For those of you guys are on the kitchen with me on Thursday, Ms. Nicole, Mr. Edgar, Kyle and Alex and Cameron. I'm going to show you guys how to use that wok. If you guys have a wok at home, I'm going to talk a little bit about it on that day, how to use that wok, because it is a technique. Remember I was talking about the 5 elements and the spleen?
Yes, chef.
Okay. There is a stance when you cook it in the wok, okay? You give yourself enough space between your body and the stovetop. We don't have a wok burner, but the stoves get really hot. So there's a stance. You're going to stand sideways with your front leg, your right leg in front of you, and your right leg behind you. So you're going to stand on the side, sideways position, okay? Right leg in front of you, away from the stovetop, and your left leg behind you, okay? Or away from the stovetop the furthest, okay? With your hand, you're going to use this motion in the wok, okay? What is happening, remember I was talking about the 5 elements in the spleen? What is supposed to be happening is you're drawing energy from your left leg from the ground, traveling to your mid body, okay? Up into your upper body, into your arm, into your dish. That is the 5 elements, that is the feng shui, that is energy that is you drawing from the ground onto your dish. And your right leg is anchoring you, preventing you from getting too close to the stovetop and from using that wok. I mean, from getting, you're not going to be sitting there and stirring like this. You're not making hollandaise or mayonnaise or making oatmeal, okay? You're giving yourself enough space and you're using the 5 elements technique to draw energy onto that dish, okay?
Heard.
Okay.
Okay. Chef, isn't there a wok burner in the other kitchen?
We have about 5 woks at school. There's about 5 or 6 woks at school. I got 2 of my own here, but we have plenty to go around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you guys have a wok at home, you might want to practice that as well too. Okay. Even at Walmart, they sell it for like, I don't know, $7.50 a wok. I mean, they're not the real expensive ones you might find at different kitchenware stores. One of those will do fine. If you can't get one, that'd be awesome. It's a good investment. I still have mine from 7 years ago that I bought at Walmart. Okay. So again, it's about that sense when you.
But we don't need a wok, right?
For the rice, yes.
You have to have a wok for the rice?
The rice is cooked in a wok, okay?
Wait, so we have to go buy one?
If you can, I would suggest you guys can. If you cannot, if you don't have the means or the financial means to go get one, you can use saute pan, okay?
Okay.
But it's going to be a little bit difficult. You can use it, but it'll be a little bit difficult. But in the future, you want to invest one, by all means, okay? So spring rolls, easy to make. It's all about the knife cuts, okay? All about the knife cuts and all about how you roll it, nice and tight, okay? Don't forget the slurry. Don't forget the rice noodles, okay? You got to soak the rice noodles in hot water to get them rehydrated, okay? Fried rice, I just went over the technique on that one, okay? It's about the feng shui. It's about the 5 elements, energy from your body into the dish, okay? And about the knife cuts. Everything cooks less than 5 minutes. Don't go zealous using the soy sauce. It is too salty, okay? And you got the chicken satay as a little slice of the Philippines into your menu for Thursday, okay? Same technique as your shish kebab, but different marinade, okay? The peanut sauce is relatively easy as well too. That's on Thursday. Any question on Thursday? No, okay. All right. Let's go over the last day, Friday, okay? Friday. Where are you, Friday? There we go. Friday, the Philippines. My intern is getting married in October. She invited me to wedding. She's about 2 foot nothing. She's really short and skinny. She's getting married. She cut herself at work one day, and she fainted because she couldn't see the side of her own blood. So we had to call 911 because she was going through some motions. So all the EMTs came. They were all guys, right? 20s, 30s. So they were all trying to help her to get back to normal. And when she finally came through, the first question that she asked was, chef, did you take a picture of me when I was there with the empties? I'm like, what? No, why? And she's like, well, they were all young men attending to me. I'm like, is that what was going through your mind? Whatever. It's kind of cool though. Anyways, Philippines. Okay, Philippines. Comprised of about 7,000 islands. Philippines. Okay. Fun facts about the Philippines. Official Republic of the Philippines. Archipelagic country in Southeastern Asia, situated with the Western Pacific Ocean, consists of about 7,000 and more islands that are broadly categorized under three main geographical divisions from the north to the south: Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. She's actually from Visayas. Her name is Nerissa. The president, Rodrigo Duterte, I believe. Capital is Manila. Currency is a peso. Population is 106 million as of 2018. Okay. Official languages, Filipino and English, also Tagalog. You guys want to know how to say son of a biscuit in Tagalog? Let me know. I'll teach you guys. Okay. Anyways, Philippines, island country of the Southeast Asia, is the Western Pacific Ocean. It is an archipelago consisting of about 70,000 islands, okay, about 800 kilometers or 500 miles of the coast of Vietnam. Manila is the capital, okay. But nearby Quezon City, the country's most populous city, both are part of the national capital region, Metro Manila, located in Luzon. Third largest island, second largest in the Philippines, is Mindanao in the southeast. Philippines takes its name from the Philip II, who was king of Spain during the Spanish colonization of the islands in the 16th century. Because it was under Spanish rule for 333 years. That is why they use a lot of Spanish in the Philippines too. Some of the words that they use, the language, resemble Spanish very much, even their names and last names, okay? Anyways, and under the U.S. tutelage for a further 48 years, the Philippines has many cultural affinities with the West. It is, for example, the second most populous Asian country following India, with English as an official language, and one of only two predominantly Roman Catholic countries in Asia. To be in East Timor, despite the prominent such Anglo-European cultural characteristics, the peoples of the Philippines are Asian in consciousness of the aspiration, okay? The country was racked by political turmoil in the last quarter of the 20th century after enduring more than a decade of authoritarian rule under the President Ferdinand Marcos. The broadly popular People of Power movement in 1986 led to a bloodless uprising against the regime. Confrontation resulted not only in the ousting of the exiled Marcos, but also the restoration of the democratic government of the Philippines. Contemporary Philippines continue to grapple with the side of this replete with paradoxes, perhaps the most obvious being presence of the extreme wealthy, both alongside tremendous poverty. Rich in resources, the Philippines has the potential to build a strong industrial economy, but the country remains largely agricultural. Despite towards the end of the 20th century, rapid industrial expansion was supported a high degree of domestic and foreign investment. That growth, however, similarly contributed to the degradation of the environment. The Philippines also emerged as a regional leader of the education during the 20th century, with a well-established public schools and university system. And by the early 21st century, the country had one of the highest literacy rates in Asia. The land, the Philippines, is bounded by the Philippine Sea to the east, Celeb Sea to the south, and the Sulu Sea to the southwest, and the South China Sea to the west and north. Islands are spread out in the shape of the triangle, with those south of Palawan, the Sulu Archipelago, and the island of Mindanao. Okay, Taiwan, Indonesia. Okay. Ethnic groups, ethnically diverse people in the Philippines, collectively called the Filipinos. Ancestors of the vast majority of the population were Malay, descendants that came from the Southeast Asian mainland, as well as from the now Indonesian contemporary Filipino society, consisting of nearly 100 culturally, linguistically distinctive ethnic groups. The largest of the Tagalog, like I said, Tagalog is pretty much the main language, okay? Visayan Islands, okay? So here's the geographic, okay? Philippine ethnic composition. You got Tagalog, Bisaya, Cebuano, Ilocano, Hiligano, Bicoy, Uruguay, and other. About 26. I wonder who's other, okay? Languages. Estimated the total number of languages in dialects spoken in the Philippines differ, but scholarly studies suggest that there are 150. Most of the country's languages are closely related, belonging to several subfamiliarities. Nations, and more specifically, Western Malayo-Polynesian languages. The major languages of the country generally correspond to the largest ethnic groups. Tagalog is the most widespread language. Okay, again, Tagalog. Okay. So religion, Roman Catholic predominates the Philippines. Muslim, 9.5%. Iglesia en Cristo, 2.6. Evangelical, 2.4. And other. Don't know what other is. Okay. The cuisine, the Filipino cuisine, composed of cuisines for more than 100 years, distinctive linguistic groups spanning throughout the Philippine archipelago. However, majority of mainstream Filipino dishes that compose Filipino cuisine are from the cuisines of the various ethno-linguistic groups and tribes of the archipelago, including the Ilocano, Parmigiano, Pangasiano, and Tagalog. Okay, so dishes range from the very simple, like the meal of fried salted fish with rice, fish to curry, chicken curry, complex paellas, cocidos, Iberian origin from the fiestas. Popular dishes include lechon. Lechon is the whole roasted pig, almost like Kalua pig in Hawaii. Longaniza, Philippine sausage, tapa, cured beef, torta, it's an omelet, adobo, chicken or pork, braised in garlic, vinegar, oil, and soy sauce, and it's sometimes a little bit over too salty. Okay. Dinungong, pork blood stew, calderata, meat stewed in tomato sauce and liver paste, mecado, larded beef in soy and tomato sauce, pochero, beef and bananas in tomato sauce, afritada, chicken or pork and vegetables simmered in tomato sauce, kare, oxtail and vegetables cooked in peanut sauce. Pinakbet, kawacha squash, eggplant, beans, soaked in tomato stew and flavored in shrimp paste. Okay. So culinary history during the pre-Hispanic era in the Philippines, the preferred Indonesian methods of food preparation were boiling, steaming, roasting. The ingredients are common in dishes were obtained from locally raised livestock. These range from the water buffaloes to carabos, chicken, and pigs. Okay. Speaking of chickens, you know, until the mid 1980s, the Filipinos' way of slaughtering the chickens was to chase it and beat it to death. Their belief was it tenderized the meat and infused it with its own blood. Until the mid 80s, the Filipinos believed that beating the chickens to death with a stick will tenderize the meat and infuse it with its own blood.
That's crazy.
It was outlawed in the 80s. Okay. Just thought. Okay. Anyways, here's some of the 10 famous foods you must try in the Philippines. Okay. They have long outcome the local food of favors to the tourists, but there's no reason to poo-poo Filipino cuisine outright. Product of the century, since recent colonization, Filipino food combines influence from Spain, China, India, and the Malay kingdoms to create something entirely unique. May not have diversity, complexity. Okay, here we go. Adobo, which is on your menu this day. Okay, to eat like a Filipino, all you need is rice and a bowl of adobo. Take a chicken or pork, simmer in vinegar and soy sauce, and you get adobo. One of the few dishes in the Philippines you must have originated locally without any foreign influence. Okay. Spanish names for latest edition. Adobo is Filipino as you can get it. It goes with rice and the other thing, and a very Providence has its own way of cooking stuff. Bukilanos, Southern Luzon, prefer adobo sagata, adding coconut milk to the vinegar and substituting green chili for peppercorns. Visaya Islands add annatto oil to the braised liquid to enrich the color and flavor of the sauce. Pancit, it's also on your menu. Chinese traders were already doing business in the Philippines long before the Spanish came over the horizon. Influence of the Filipino food spread far wide, most notably in the noodle dish category known as pancit, derived from the Hokkien for something conveniently cooked. Pancit has become to catch all terms of noodle dish. Name bewildering variations of pancit. Okay. Cagayan province loves their pancit, a batil, patong, made with sauteed noodles, white buffalo meat, and topped with an egg. Okay. Manila seaside is malabon, invited with a pancit malabon or noodles garnished with shrimp, squid, and oysters. In Ilobo, dig into soup pancit called bachay, enhanced with pork innards, eggs, and fish paste. Ugh. No way. Okay. Lumpia, my favorite, almost like the spring roll, but when you start rolling it, you put the raw pork, the peas, and the potatoes right in the middle of the diamond shape of the Wei Chung wrappers, and then you roll it. The spring rolls, you roll it from the bottom down, okay? Another gift of the Philippine cuisine from the Chinese, lumpia has been adopted through the Indonesian to become the iconic Filipino dish. Chinese style egg rolls, quite common throughout Southeast Asia, adapted to local ingredients and taste to become something totally local. Filipino lumpia uses pork or beef, heart of palm, vegetables, and seafood, all tucked in a thin crepe, either fried or served fresh. It's even a sweet version of lumpia consisting of bananas, little jackfruit rolled in a lumpia. I'll go with mine with pork. Okay. Kinalawa, raw fish magic. It's almost like ceviche, but with vinegar. Okay. Can be simple as vinegar dressed over raw fish, nothing more, but it lends itself to experiment the extravagance. You can find restaurants serving kinalawa with soy sauce. Okay. Balut. Yes. Embryo egg, duck embryo egg. They say it tastes like hard-boiled egg. Eating duck embryo, balut has become a rite of passage for backpackers traveling to the Philippines. Many backpacker joints in Manila make but what is balut exactly? Nothing simpler than a fertilized duck egg. The embryo has been permitted to develop in the shell for at least 16 days before cooking. And the balut seller for balut no older than 18 years for the tastiest results. The embryo is so soft and fluffy at 18 days, and when you suck on it, it's gone in a second. Balut. No, deuce. Peace out. I don't like. I like my chicken hairless, no feathers, no bones. Right?
No, thank you.
No. Inasal, rich roast chicken. Chicken inasal is a staple of the city of Bacolod. Chicken marinated in calamari juice, lemongrass, and ginger, basted with annatto oil such as roasted over fire, then served with the rice along with the dip soy sauce and sometimes liquid chicken fat. Not complicated, but the goodness of inasal comes from his freshness, his head when consumed with rice. Okay. Sig Sig. Through a long practice, Filipinos have become geniuses when making the most economy parts or less premium cuts of livestock. Nowhere this more obviously than Sig Sig, a hash of pork cheek, pork face, and other parts that have been chopped up, mixed with onion and fried, served with a hot plate. Sig Sig is the bar chows, Sing Cananon, most fashionable drinking spots. Okay, Kare Kare, this is the oxtail soup I was talking about earlier. In addition to eggplant, daikon, okra, banana, flower bud, and green beans, a mixed kare kare, glorious all-around dish. Okay. Here's lechon. It's a whole roasting suckling pig. Yeah, lechon varies from place to place. Milan lechon tends to be minimally prepared before cooking, while the lechon further south incorporates stuffing like bay leaves, garlic, lemongrass to improve the flavor, as well as Manila lechon needs a liver-based lechon sauce to dip in. Okay, lechon. Hello, ice cream, baby, right? Ice baby. Ice, a relatively recent addition to the Filipino culinary scene, having arrived with only advent of the refrigeration in the early 1900s. Still, Filipinos have gone to town with desserts made out of stuff, particularly through shaved ice, refreshment like mais con hielo, corn and milk on shaved ice. Hello, Filipino for mix, and it's mixed up with several sweet treats along with the shaved ice, banana and syrup. Okay. All right, guys, this is the menu. Hold on, I'm going to Chef Robin again. There we go. So pancit is on Friday's menu. Okay. I'm gonna pop this video link where you guys how to make it. Okay. It's almost basically as a lo mein. Okay. I'm just gonna pop the link on the pancit. You guys can make it watch it at your own time. Okay. Okay, that's a link for you guys to watch it at your own time. Okay. Pancit. Okay. Come on. There you go. Really? So pancit on Friday. Another easy dish, guys. It's not spicy at all. Very easy to make. Okay, pancit. And it's all about your knife cuts. It's all about your knife cuts. Okay. You also got pickled cucumber salad. This should refresh your memory from 201. Easy to make. Okay, easy to make. Okay. That goes with the pork adobo. It's all about your knife cuts too. Okay, you can make it that day off. You have to make it a day beforehand. Okay. You got pork adobo. That you have to marinate on Thursday for Friday. Okay. Thursday for Friday. So Thursday for Friday, you got to brace it and you got to finish cooking it in the oven just like you would do a beef bourguignon or another braised item. Okay. Pork adobo. Marinate it on Thursday, brace it on Friday, put the liquid back in there, saran wrap, aluminum foil in the oven. Let it go for about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it should be coming nice and tender. Not falling apart, but nice and tender. Pork braised adobo. Okay. And steamed jasmine rice. So steamed jasmine rice on the bottom, pork adobo on top, and then you have your pancit. Okay. I'm gonna pop the link for the video for the pork adobo. You guys to watch it on the what you call it? Come on. Where you go? Nice, so let's play it. Remember, it's got to be marinated on Thursday for Friday. I think my Wi-Fi is Yankee. Ah, there's storms coming in, that's why. Really?
Call HEB Kyle, Texas.
Okay. Call HEB Plus on 5401 FM 1626 and in Kyle.
Yes.
I just muted him.
Sorry.
That's all right. My phone was going to pick it up too. I'm like, what? No, hold on. Pork adobo, guys. Or chicken adobo. Okay. If you don't have pork, you can do chicken too. But it's not going to take that long to cook because chicken is a lot more tender than pork adobo. Okay. And that is your menus for the week. Any comments? What's tomorrow?
You got rice, and we got the chutney, and we got the other rice dish.
Tandoori chicken.
Green chutney, matar pulao, right? That's the rice from India. Aloo gobi, potatoes and cauliflower. They're not mashed potatoes, not soft cauliflower. You have the chicken tandoori. If you have a charcoal, use it. If you don't worry about it. Okay. You have, so 4 recipes a day. Green chutney, aloo gobi, matar pulao, and chicken tandoori. Okay. If you guys want to, it's up to you. If you guys want to make some naan bread, go for it. It'll go great with chicken tandoori. Now that's okay too. It's not required, but if you want to, have an extra side dish, you can enjoy your chicken tandoori, go for it. Wednesday, what's Wednesday?
Kung Pao chicken, lo mein, and rice.
Easy, right? Easy. It's all about your knife cuts. All about your knife cuts, because everything, the Kung Pao chicken takes less than 5 minutes to cook. Lo mein takes less than 5 minutes. It's both in saute pan. If you have a wok, use a wok instead. If not, that's cool. Okay. And Steve,
Are we not making the noodles, chef?
No. We used to. There's a recipe for ramen noodles, but it takes about 2 days to make. You got to toast the baking soda in the oven. Okay, those are more labor intense. Thursday. What's Thursday? China.
It's the Philippines.
No, China is part 2.
Oh, it's the spring rolls.
Spring rolls, fried
and
rice,
and the satay.
Bingo. It's another easy day. It's all about the knife cuts and the use of the wok. I'm gonna show you guys how to use the wok. Remember the 5 elements, the spine, right? And how to use that wok to create that energy to flow into the dish itself. And then Friday, we just went over Friday. You got pork adobo, got pancit, steamed jasmine rice, and what else? And I think that's it, right? So a lot more flavors coming your way. Yes, the green chutney is spicy, but it's going to give you the freshness of the yogurt and the mint leaves. If you want to don't make it less much spicy, maybe just drop 1 serrano instead of 5 or 6, whatever the recipe calls for, and add more yogurt to it to dilute the spiciness in it. Okay. What else? Kung Pao chicken. Mr. Corey, you want to use that oil? Go for it. Those dry chili peppers. Just be careful when you saute them in the hot oil. They're going to release that smoky, the smoke fumes. So they're going to kind of make you choke a little bit. So be careful on those, okay?
Okay. I might not, if I'm going to use that fire oil, I might not just use the arbol peppers.
Yeah, because that's going to be too spicy, okay?
Yeah, it's going to be too hot.
Right, okay? So those are your menus for this coming week. Tomorrow morning, I will send you the recipes for the practical and what's going to be on there, okay? So be look out on your school email for tomorrow, okay?
And when will we be getting a shopping list for next week?
Possibly in the next couple of days, okay?
Okay.
I broke everything down for next week on week 6. I submitted it. It's got to go through Chef Robin and Chef Raph, and then I'll get it back, and then it's an email to you guys.
Okay.
As soon as I get it, I'll send it to you guys, okay? Any questions?
Yeah, what was that bread you were saying to pair with the chicken? The
what now?
The tandoori chicken.
Tandoori chicken. The charcoal, the little charcoal thingy. You can if you want, you can have it, use it. Not don't worry about it. If you want to make a naan bread to go with your chicken, there's a recipe in the portal for naan bread. You can use that too. Okay, you don't have to, but you got time. You know, it's almost like somewhat like the pita bread, but this one is baked in the oven like a pizza. Okay.